Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Just here. Honestly, what did you do after the 24-hour marathon? Did you stay up? Did you crash right away?
Well, first of all, what an incredible time and what a bananas thing to do. We stayed up 24 hours live on YouTube, Keith and the Girl. Thank you to all those who were there. And this is our first Keith and the Girl episode back. Here's what I did. We recorded after we took down the feed, we recorded that 1 hour. We call it an hour. It's usually like closer to 2 hours, the bonus episode. By then it was about 5:30 p.m. I took a shower, ate, and took an edible and was in bed by 7 p.m. Exactly like 7-8 hours later, my body said, "You're good?" And I'm like, "No, it's the middle of the night." I watched the entire Little Miss Sunshine movie. And then I think I fell asleep because before I knew it, it was time for OMAT at 10 a.m. So
I see.
Yeah.
OMAT, you really are a go-getter. I had like a second wind. I was loopy, but I figured I might as well stay up, not mess up the sleep schedule. I went to bed around midnight. I woke up after 2 p.m.
Wow. But does that work for you? Because I think that Monday I was there. We recorded things. I did OMAT Club, did a little bit of work, did some biking. But I can't say I would like to meet someone's parents in that state. You know, I'd rather like, kind of stay mellow for another day. Were you okay the next day?
I could even use more sleep.
Of course.
It was a lazier day.
Yeah. It's like a planned lazy day. Like, don't put anything here as much as possible. Meanwhile, we recorded for hours.
There were no planks on this end. I'll tell you that much. I will mention this as well. Those of you who have Keith and the Girl VIP, there's still a new episode of our wrap-up show last week on Keith and the Girl. That's in your feed with Rod and Karen Morrow. We still did that. And today we'll record as well Q&A with Newsy. If you're not a Keith and the Girl VIP member, and maybe you didn't know, we take VIP as seriously as we do the main Keith and the Girl show, as you've heard from those award clips.
Yes.
It's funny, serious business. So treat yourself. Keith and the Girl VIP. I think you deserve it. KATG.com/VIP. Become a member now. We're going to play the beginning of the Keith and the Girl marathon for you. But first, I want to share top news stories, at least things that I feel interest me.
You know why? Because Keith can't help himself. This is supposed to be a bumper, meaning like, hey, guys, it's us again. We're going to put out an episode and keep repairing ourselves from the marathon. And he's like, yeah. But the bumper is going to be, 20, 30 minutes long because I bought newspapers and here we go.
I still got to tell you about the dangers of the world. More cases of people being pronounced dead in America, taken to the funeral home, about to be buried. And surprise, surprise, apparently funeral homes have better training than nurses. The people are alive. I didn't go to my mom's funeral, but now I feel bad. I could have gave that heart a couple punches. It's crazy. A woman in Long Island, here in New York, the bizarre case unfolded when the bizarre case, not what I'm reading. It's not too bizarre. What does bizarre mean? Because apparently it happens all the time. An 82-year-old woman was pronounced dead at 11:15 a.m. Saturday at Water's Edge Rehab and Nursing Center in Port Jefferson. We'll take your people out of there right now. But after being transported to the funeral home, the woman was found to be breathing shortly after 2 p.m. Then brought to the hospital. I hope not the same hospital.
How do they explain this?
Thanks for letting us know.
But how did they think that she stopped breathing? Did she stop breathing?
I don't know. You look for a pulse. You didn't know how to find one. The end.
That can't be it.
Last week, an Iowa nursing home was fined $10,000 for pronouncing a hospice patient dead, shipping her to the funeral when she was actually alive. The funeral home worker unzipped the body bag. The 66-year-old woman was found gasping for air.
Oh,
what the fuck is going on? I'm telling you, put me in a room for a week with a bell inside.
Oh, and hospice, like about death in hospice.
They're eager. These homes are eager to put you away.
Is it a coincidence that somebody was trying to check in and there were no hospital beds? Same hospital.
To say that again?
Is it a coincidence that somebody else was trying to check into those hospitals or hospices or needed a bed?
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're willing to pay double. Oh, let's look around. Actually, we have room. I'm glad you brought up that pay double thing.
Or I wonder if it's a weird manifestation in hospice. You expect people to pass. So when you expect it, here it comes.
So you're right. My mom coughs. They're like, that's good enough. Lock it up. Pope Francis has said on Sunday that laws criminalizing LGBT people are a sin and an injustice because God loves and, quote, accompanies people with same-sex attraction. That sounds good, right?
What does accompanies mean? Like accompanies them to hell?
Well, it's still a mortal sin, yes, but I wish people on earth didn't criminalize it.
Well, don't criminalize it until they're dead and then forever.
We'll criminalize it in heaven and hell. You don't do that. It's one of the few things we got. He spoke in response to a reporter's question aboard his plane returning from Africa. The criminalization of homosexuality is a problem that cannot be ignored. He said 50 countries criminalize LGBT people in one way or another, and about 10 others have laws including the death penalty. Quote, this is not right. Persons with homosexual tendencies are children of God. God loves them. God accompanies them. Condemning a person like this is a sin. Criminalizing people with homosexual tendencies is an injustice. Then they go, okay, but homosexual people still go to hell. Oh, yeah. Again, mortal sin. The worst kind of sin you can do to God. God separates. You know how they say God's always there? He never left you. God separates himself from you when you do a mortal sin. Homosexuality is filed under that. This is stupid and just confusing to idiots. It is they make it criminalized because you're saying it's a sin. That's why it's criminalized.
He's not saying homosexual tendencies is a sin. Tendencies is one thing. Don't act upon it.
Right, sure.
So don't criminalize the tendencies.
Well, who's criminalizing a tendency? You don't walk past someone and go, you have a tendency.
Yeah, that's not the thought. The thought police
talking about hand holding between guys. They're talking about kissing between women. That's what they're talking about. And it's it's criminalized because it is a sin. Just make it not a sin, which you could Christianity legally do. What's bound on earth is bound in heaven, but you just won't do it. You just won't do it.
Well, it's still gross, right?
It's unnerving when it's men. I mean, if we can't reach an honest place when we're talking. Scientists have created a robotic system that can turn from solid to liquid and back again. Scientists created a robot, without exaggeration, fairly similar to the liquid metal robot in Terminator 2 30 years ago.
Did they? Because I saw that video and the metal melted, but it never came back to life. Did you see it come back to life?
It does come back to life. They kind of like in Terminator, when Terminator walked through a fence, the vertical poles were too close together, but he just turned into liquid and formed on the other side. This robot does that. They put a small robot in a little jail cell. The video is a little grainy, but it turns into liquid, goes through the bars, reconnects itself.
Why is the video grainy on something that's so modern when we have non-grainy footage in our pockets? Why
can we see the first black hole 60 billion years ago, but not who stole my mail from last week?
I don't know that these are similar questions.
Well, they don't do videos. They work on robots.
We have video cameras in our pockets.
Well, they demonstrated the functionality by placing one of their miniature robots in a simulated jail cell, showing how it might escape. In tests, the mini robots were able to jump over obstacles as well, scale walls, split in half, and reemerge, all while still being magnetically controlled.
Where's this video? I'm not buying it.
I saw that. It was good enough for me. And I believe it's robots that can make other robots. I'm not surprised with magnets. You have robots that can separate and come back together.
I understand that you're not surprised, and I get the lack of surprise, but the lack of video is a little strange, and the graininess in the video is a little absurd.
You think it's not true?
I didn't see the video. I don't understand why there's one grainy video. Like what? Like it's in a jail cell for real, and it's caught on surveillance?
It's not really in a jail cell. They wanted it to do that.
Exactly. So you have the video capacity to monitor this experiment. Instead, it looks like it's on real surveillance.
They did it, and it's offensive to say to these geniuses, can I see better quality?
Mm-hmm. Where did they even get that video from? That shitty video camera. Somebody's doing it on a flip phone.
They did, because they know about robots. They don't trust these new phones. All the hacking your phone's doing to you.
That cloud's a monster.
Yeah. The team is particularly excited about the potential medical uses. Yeah, they'll be putting us in hospitals. I guess that's a medical use. Oh, well. Leonardo DiCaprio knows we're all going to die soon, so live it up. He has a new girlfriend. Guess what she does for a living? Model. He's 48 years old. She's 19.
Yeah, the other one I assume just had a birthday.
Mm-hmm. And about to go over the age of 25. And you know what? Let's say 19 to 25. 6 years. That's a good run if she can last. Just shut your mouth. You could probably last 6 years. Put on lotion every night, Vaseline around the eyes, and you're going to have a pretty sweet, easy life.
Look at this. We got beauty tips by Keith Malley. Vaseline around the eyes.
Yeah, I know the secrets. That's once I figured out all these secrets, I'm like, you know what? Let's go live.
He doesn't know what happens. He's just seen women put their fingers into tubs and then dab it under the eye. So he assumes it's a tub of Vaseline.
Oceans and potions. That's all you got to do when you get yourself a yacht for Christmas.
Yep, that's right.
Here's my girlfriend. Oh, what have you been doing recently? Well, COVID really fucked up high school for me. So
oh.
I saw somebody pointed out that the people are talking about this new TV show, The Last of Us. So this could put things into perspective. The main guy and the girl that he's running around with, to help save in this new world of The Last of Us. If they were dating, that would be the relationship of Leonardo and his new girlfriend. Look at it.
Now I need to watch this show.
You got to watch 18 episodes to follow. Beyoncé officially has the most Grammys of any artist ever, Kenda.
Wow.
Queen Bey.
Why not? Yeah.
Is
Mariah upset?
It's not her. She has a record 32 wins. Her latest dance electronic album, Renaissance, is what did it for her. But then number 31 is a Hungarian-British conductor named George Solti. So I guess it's back in the day.
Wow.
Where the challenge was on. And then under that is Quincy Jones, who's a producer. So it's a bigger deal when it's one artist. We can all agree, right? So it's one artist, Beyonce, 32 wins.
Wow, that's so impressive.
Quincy Jones, 28.
Yeah, but number 2 was around where there was only 3 other guys. So, you did it.
It's like Mozart or something. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Harry Styles wins album of the year. However, called Harry's House. All right. Rock album. It actually went to a person that does rock music this year.
Is rock still happening?
Ozzy Osbourne's back. Yeah, rock is still there.
Ozzy made a thing?
Usually it's things like Coldplay they got to throw into rock, but Ozzy Osbourne made a thing, and he won Best Rock Thing and Best Rock Song. The album Patient Number 9, and he does it with different great guitarists.
I thought he was too sick to stay steady.
They sit him down,
Does it? Do you like the album?
I heard the first song, Patient Number 9. I did like that. The one that won for Best Song, Degradation Rules. It was all right, but I'm gonna hear I didn't hear the whole album yet, but I will. It's good. I like that rock is rock. It feels important.
Are you an Ozzy fan? I don't.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay.
I like the later stuff better than the early stuff, which is blasphemy to a lot of people. But yeah, I saw Ozzy live, and this was, I might have been 18 to 20, and he was looking old then. And he would come out, shuffle to the front of the stage, and try to jump up, but he was so old then that he leaned down like he was touching his toes, jumped up a little with his hands in the air like a kid, came back down. He had to land with his hands back on the ground and then stood up. That was his move. He could barely walk, but when he sang, Assuming nothing was piped in, perfect.
This was 30 years ago.
It was 30 years ago. So apparently he still has it. I don't hear it and hear auto-tuning, the two songs I heard.
That's impressive.
So, which is funny because I can make out like when you're talking to Sharon, I guess you got to sing to her because we never know what the fuck he's saying unless he's singing. You can make out every single word crystal clear. It's interesting.
Wow.
Best comedy album. That's a Grammy category, of course.
Wait, is this under best comedy or horror movie or?
No, this is just a flat out comedy album.
Okay.
The Closer with Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
The recent transphobic one. So Louis C.K. had a chance.
Well, he forgot to be transphobic.
Right. Tom Brady has announced his retirement and says...
This sounds familiar.
That's what he said. He said, look, you should only get one bombastic time to go out for attention. And I used mine up. So thank you. But I'm really, really done.
Okay. Does he get to go back to his family or are they done too?
They're done too. They go, we're done too.
Okay.
365 days too late.
So he retired a couple things this year.
Right. Well, he's a free man. He's a free man. I think he is the greatest. 7 Super Bowl wins. Terry Bradshaw and Joe Montana tied for 4 Super Bowl wins. Troy Aikman, 3 Super Bowl wins. 7 Super Bowl wins. No player has more Super Bowl rings than that. And this guy's the quarterback, obviously the big deal. And now he's online right after this announcement selling Tom Brady underwear.
Now,
I assume he doesn't wear it ahead of time. It's not an OnlyFans kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I don't know.
But if you exercise and eat like him, you kind of want to dress like him. And but it's him in underwear. Otherwise, he's completely naked. His hand kind of happens to be covering what you would assume you'd see his dick.
Why not?
It's just funny. He needs attention so bad. The season's not even over. We still have the Super Bowl this weekend. But it's like, and I retired. What am I going to do? Here's me naked. I mean, don't forget, there's a movie out and I'm naked.
Somebody should tell him what retirement means.
Right. I'm seeing who knows who's paying for this stuff. But Tom Brady was on the beach and made his announcement. The people are selling sand from where he recorded his annountment right now for $99,900, $5.10 shipping.
Okay. I'm also selling that sand. Okay. But in his underwear that he actually was wearing that day. Don't worry about it.
AMC movie theaters.
Is this the thing that you have the pass for?
I'm a Regal guy. I happen to be like 2 blocks away from a Regal theater.
Oh, you're Regal. Okay.
And I do it so good. I play it so well. I know the ads are 20 minutes long now. I leave my house. I get there right when the movie starts. People think I must be sneaking in or something. If a movie isn't so great, I'll leave halfway through, come back again with I take advantage.
Now, how much do they make off of you on popcorn and stuff?
They really don't. Once in no, in fact, I get Regal points for going to the theater so much that I get free popcorn. Holy shit. Yeah. Me and Tom Brady living the life. AMC movie theaters, the largest chain, larger than Regal, is having a new pricing scheme where you pay based on where you want to sit in the movie theater. The better the seat, the more you pay. Just
like the airplanes.
Right. I find it weird. Maybe because I'm just not used to it, but it feels weird. It feels.
I thought that was already happening, and I can't imagine how much people are going to fight now for real. Because remember, you just had this experience that people were sitting in someone else's seat, and at first the people were being passive aggressive, and then once the movie started, she insisted that they move out of her seat. But imagine if you paid more for it, it would be like the airplane. Then they're gonna start saying whoever paid more for the tickets gets to go sit first and cut the line and shit like that. But maybe it's because AMC is dying.
People are gonna have such attitudes. I've been to theme parks. If I can, I get the line cutters. I find it so worth it. How often do you go out like that anyway? Live it up. And you come in through the exit. And so you're the very next. The regular people standing in line are ready to cut you. I mean, kill you by cut you because You cut, you get cut. And that's why you have to go through the exit, because if you were on the same side, you're dead.
It's true, because they have waited for 1, sometimes 2, sometimes longer hours, and you're just walking in. But yeah, that's what money gets you.
$20 isn't enough for a ticket. You got to pay $2 more for a good seat. Seats in the middle of the auditorium will cost $1 or $2 more, while seats in the front row, where you're so close you can't see a fucking thing, those will be cheaper.
Those should be free. Yes,
AMC said the pricing plan, dubbed Sightline. Yeah, you want to pay to see? Sightline.
Well, because also what you're saying is that theater seats, although you keep saying that they're laid out where you should just, have a great view no matter where you are, right? That's why we're charging so much money. Otherwise, you would just sit in your on your couch. Now you're admitting those first seats suck.
Yeah.
You're admitting that. You're admitting that my neck hurts. But you know what? Those $2 are either going to go to some masseuse or something, or you're going to sit in the right seat.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, also, I've been to theaters are dying, I think. And I think it's because we just got used to movies at home. And because we see movies at home and not paying in the movie theater, the theater doesn't spend too much money. So they make shitty movies and those go straight to stream and the cycle continues. But anyway, yes, I basically always have the theater to myself. So even if it's, a busier theater than, and I'm in Queens, New York, but even if it's busier than that, people are still going to sit where they want, right? Are people going to start checking?
I think for sure, if you're paying extra, just like we go on an airplane, everyone sits in their seat. So it makes it more important. So yeah, people are going to check. And I think this could normalize pretty quickly.
It seems so weird to me.
But who am I? It's funny that if you say it's weird, then it's weird because you go to the theater. I thought this was already happening.
No, it's not happening. And maybe it's just because I'm not used to it, but it really points out that you don't have money. And that rubs me wrong.
Or it points out that you don't like spending money like that, like they're getting you, like you will not charge me $2 extra to sit next to the seat that I want to sit. But that would bother me too. I would have to spend $1 or $2.
So there's Sightline, then there's standard Sightline, which means less. So you get a shitty seat. If you want to pay even less you can get value Sightline. You have to be a member of their subscription service.
There's in theaters, not in movie theaters, in live theater, they have you can buy a much cheaper ticket if your view is partially obstructed. So if you have to sort of tilt your head to the right to see the full stage, it's significantly different, but it should be. That is really uncomfortable. Again, yeah, I paid that $10 difference for your masseuse. You're absolutely right. 80 for Brady. I don't know what masseuse I'm making up, but yeah. Sure. Right. They're not too good for $10. 80 for Brady is the number 2 movie at the box office right now, beating Avatar. And at number 1 is Knock at the Cabin, the M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong movie. Which You're so mad at him. I'm so mad at him. I'm so mad at him. I'm so mad at him. Because normally you wouldn't think Shyamalan Ding Dong is something to say but you had to say it because you're so mad at him. I'm upset, and that's how I zing him. Yeah, you're so mad at him that you told a poor joke. Yes. And this is an obvious joke, but I feel like he can feel it. Yes. Shyamalan Ding Dong to you. He's not pleased. He's not pleased. And I wasn't either with this recent shit you're putting out. Come on. Behave quick. Come on. Huh? Come on. Yeah, come on. All right, here it is. The beginning of the marathon featuring everyone that you see as the title of this show. Enjoy. Chemda just came back from the movies. The new M. Night Shyamalan Knock at the Cabin. It's a piece of shit. It's a piece of shit. There's no twist. That's the twist. He's the king of twists. There's not even a twist. It'd be like you went to a crepe factory and they're like, oh, we serve burgers now. Well, I like burgers.
but I come here for crepes. What can I tell you?
But maybe the
Anyway.
twist is that there's no twist. He
Well,
got
it
you.
blew. It blew. That's Movie Corner. How we doing on time? Welcome, everybody, to the Keith and the Girl Marathon. We'll be here with you for 24 hours, a full calendar day, right? And over 50 of your favorite comedians and guests will be here. You're watching live, of course, right now. You see Hamda with her hands to her face. How you feeling, Hamda?
I'm nervous. I'm excited. My jaw's on the ground. I always can't believe we're doing this. And right before we went on, you heard me toot because I fart when I'm nervous.
Oh my. That's tough. Was that tough when you were a singer? When you were singing on stage?
No, that's what the bathroom behind the scenes is for.
They're like, I don't see the bass player, but I'm hearing it.
I had to go to the bathroom before every live show. It's you gotta clear all the pipes and the ones to sing with and the ones you don't want to sing with.
It messes with my body too. Right before we start, I got something downstairs that's playing possum. My body knows what's up, Dun, 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 dun. This is going to be very fun. Also, we have a new phone number for you. If you're listening live, you can call in 917-694-3755. 917-694-3755. Let's get right to it. I mean, it's not going to get any more exciting than this. We're going to be talking to the great Casey James Salengo. What do you think about that, Kanda?
I love it. And we now can have members on YouTube where we're live. Another Castle has just become a member. This is like the first day that you could become a member. Bad Beef is a member. Klaus is a member. So you are a member, basically the first 3 members of our YouTube page. Thank you so much. And of course, I'm excited to see Casey James Salengo. Never mind that I thought he wasn't showing up because he was late and it was the first guest. And that's totally cool because I'm a very relaxed person and I did my breathing exercises. It's good to see you, Casey.
Hello, what an honor. God damn. I didn't know I was the first guest. I've been late to every one of these motherfuckers. Why would you make me the first guest?
Make me last and see what happens.
Stupid. I made it. Yeah, I guess I made it on time, though. I was here. Jesus. First guest. What a goddamn honor. Great to see you. 24 hours. Let's get after it.
So like a real running marathon, I got to save my energy, to last the full 24 hours. Casey, go.
Keeping the girl. 24 hours.
How you holding up, Casey? I just saw. I just started watching the new that documentary on your boy Ric Flair, and it's pretty good. I never, he's too old for me. You of course go back in history and check out these wrestlers.
Yeah.
This guy lived a life.
Oh baby, Richard Flair is a great man. Yeah, that's like the 5th documentary they've made on him. I don't know why they did it again. I know his whole story front and back. He was in the plane crash, broke his back. He was kind of a chubby, boring wrestler before that. The plane crash made him change his life. He bleached his hair. He started wooing. He started doing the figure 4, and then he became the greatest of all time. He got canceled like last year, and then they just softly like brought him back, and nobody really said anything.
What did he get canceled for? It's hard to keep track.
So there's a show called Dark Side of the Ring, right? So they talk about fucked up stories in the wrestling world. And there's this episode called The Plane Ride from Hell, right? So there was a plane ride from England to America in like 2003. And apparently it was delayed because all the wrestlers, it was delayed on the tarmac for a while. They gave everyone free booze. Everyone's all pilled up. And this was they never did this again. So like by the time they were in the air, shit was going wild. Everyone was like Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar were wrestling. They almost opened the emergency door. People were like cutting off people's ponytails. People were trying to like piss on Linda McMahon.
So what? Everybody's just high and
everyone's fucked up. So Ric Flair, I guess, there was one stewardess, this poor woman, was just being harassed. One steward was just being harassed by all these wrestlers, and she said that Ric Flair had this joke he used to do. He'd have his robe on and then he'd reveal it and he'd just be fully nude and he'd have a big boner.
That's a good joke. Whenever I'm with a dude and he reveals his big boner, I am laughing.
It's a trait.
It's a good one. Classic.
It's a classic. So apparently the stewardess said that Rick cornered her and took her hand and placed it on his boner. So, I hung up my Ric Flair shirts. I put them away. My paintings, everything I had. But now he's just back. I don't know how to feel about it, But, he's a fucked up dude. He's done a lot of fucked up things. I'm sure if they told more stories about him, he's done much worse.
Is did he? So he got the plane crash.
Yeah.
Did he quit doing drugs? That's the way it sounded.
He said he never did drugs. He said he drinks he loves booze. Okay. He said he never did coke. Everyone was doing coke. He never did pills, but he still like parties. He almost died a few years ago, and they said like he needs to stop drinking. He's still out there drinking. He's been hanging out with like Mike Tyson all the time lately. They're just getting hammered and fucked up. Yeah, it's a wild. Wow. Apparently they had some kind of party for him. Oh, he had his like last match, which was miserable. He could barely walk. He looks like he was dying, and they had a big party afterwards. And apparently, like, fucking passed out in the bathroom with his pants around his ankles, pissed all over himself. They had to drag him out. That's our nature, boy. I
didn't finish. Right, that's nature. I didn't finish the documentary. I wonder if they get to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if they cover the recent scandals. There's been a lot. Wrestling's been bubbling with scandals lately. It's a wild. Do
you think maybe you shouldn't watch these documentaries so you don't put yourself in the wonder if you're supposed to be supporting? I don't go out of my way to find out bad things. Unfortunately, They get to me, and I'm like, no, I can't see Louis C.K. now. But I didn't read his biography.
Yeah, it is tough. I've made a rule to not look up to any wrestler. They're all bad people.
It is tough on us, the consumer, the enjoyer of art. We're just trying to listen to songs, and then those people are molesting our children. Mm-hmm. We're just trying to watch a show about wholesome people, and that dad is raping all our women. I mean, the number one raper of our lifetime is Mr. Huxtable.
I know. It's rough. It's crazy. I was just in CVS. They had some candy called Cosby. That was a bad idea. Some rebranding there. I try not to. I only buy shirts of wrestlers now that are long dead, so that like nobody will. I figure if they haven't revealed any fucked up shit about them by now,
that's smart. I'm reading that Gary Glitter.
Oh, the guy
behind that brilliant song, do do do, hey. It was he raped kids, and by the way, they featured. How did you feel about this? In the movie Joker, when he turns into the full-on Joker, he's dancing down a huge set of steps to that song. It's a good pick in that if everybody knows, the sicko wrote it. Mm-hmm. And, a rapist wrote it. It's a really bad song to celebrate to. And the Joker is one of the most fucked up people in that regard. But I can't help believe some money's still going to him. And it did feel a little weird to me.
It is weird. And he's getting some money. They used to play it at all like the sporting events. I think they stopped. They had him. He was in the movie Spice World. And then like by the time it came out, like I think it got revealed between like the like filming and it being released, they had to trim Spice World. You still can't buy Spice World anywhere. It's my wife Courtney's like favorite movie. You have to like get an illegal DVD from overseas to even fucking watch it because of this kid rapist.
You know what? Yeah, your wife Courtney will be on in just a little bit, and we are going to confirm that is her favorite movie.
Yeah, it's between that and Crossroads with Britney Spears. I think.
Stop your face! You know who's in Crossroads? The Britney Spears ultimate movie where she's probably still plays a virgin, right?
Keith?
No, that Avatar woman, Zoe.
Zalanda.
That sounds.
Saldana.
Hey.
She's in that movie.
It's a beautiful film. You know what movie we saw last night? Which, without hyperbole or irony, I think is the greatest film ever made. 80 for Brady.
80 for Brady, the new Tom Brady movie.
Yes, I've never had more fun in a theater in my life. Courtney and I went for her birthday. People were cheering. We were all fucking, everyone was laughing. It's like the Golden Girls, and then they add in the Patriots Falcons Super Bowl, and it's fucking incredible.
Is it legit funny or funny like this is so dumb everybody's watching Jackass?
We went thinking it was just going to be like laughing at it, but then it was actually funny. Rita Moreno is a goddamn comedy genius.
Is this really the one with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin and all the olds?
Yeah, like Sally Field, Rita Moreno. It was incredible. I'm going to go see it again right now. So I'm going to watch it with every fucking mom in America. My mom, your mom, anyone's mom I'll watch it with.
Do any of the old ladies get to fuck Tom Brady?
One, Jane Fonda is hinted gets to fuck Gronk. So that's very exciting.
Okay.
That's very exciting.
I'm going to not allow that in, so I have no spoilers. I don't want to know ahead of time who Jane is having crushes on or sleeping with. So it's already gone from my brain.
Okay, watch this. Watch this. Penda,
don't do it again.
Who's the person that he just named?
Oh, I don't know. He could have been a wrestler. I really don't know.
He did wrestle. Gronk did wrestle. Oh, I spoiled it again.
I can't even. Your accent is so thick. I don't even know what you're saying.
My accent.
Did you wait till after the credits in case there's any,
there was a post-credit scene. They're making a Brady verse, I think. There was a post-credit scene of them like sitting on a beach with Tom Brady. It was beautiful. It was
Look at that. I saw Knock at the Cabin instead, and that was ridiculous.
You hated it. You already spoiled there's no twist. What the hell?
No twist. What?
Do a twist.
There's no twist.
Sorry, come for the twist. Did you like Old? I kind of like that.
I really am stuck on. I'm chasing the dragon over here, Casey. I'm really stuck on The Sixth Sense.
I mean, he like knocked out of the park with his first movie. Unbreakable was incredible, and then it's just been like, and then it got real bad. That one with the pool where like one guy had a big arm, Lady in the Water.
Yes,
that fucking sucked.
It got a little silly, and I don't know. I think, but you make Citizen Kane. I gotta see what you're gonna come up with next, no matter what it is. It's a curse.
I hear that, brother.
It's a goddamn curse.
Goddamn.
Mentioning Gary Glitter, he just got released from prison. He he was in for 16 years. He did half of that because he didn't rape any underage kids in prison. So good behavior, and he's free right now.
Wow.
Did you watch that?
He did half of his 16 years. His name is Paul Francis Gadd. That's a popular song he had was also Do You Want to Touch Me? Okay. He abused 3 young girls, all under the age of 13, 10, 12, 13.
Oh, no. Gary, now.
The 10-year-old, he snuck into her bed and tried to rape her back in 1975.
Oh, God, Keith, you don't have to get so graphic.
I know, we just started.
This is not even the first 15 minutes of the marathon, Keith.
Come on, Keith. How much pedophilia are they going to... Did you watch that Jimmy Savile doc on Netflix?
Yes, I did.
That was fucking insane.
Another English kid fucker.
He raped dead bodies. They would let him into the morgue. This guy was fucked. I don't know what's going on in England, but shut it down.
And they don't. These celebrities don't hide it, and it's weird how they don't hide it. Like Woody Allen on his one CD, his one album he has brings up rape and tries to make a joke about it. Cosby did a joke on Spanish Fly. That's exactly what Cosby was doing. They're almost laughing at you. This Jimmy Savile, he talks about what a womanizer he is with a scar in his mouth and a big Cheshire cat smile.
Yeah, he's like, the Chargers are up next week or whatever. He said he had like a big fucking joke about it. I don't know, the world you guys grew up in, all the old songs, it's like, stop saying the ages of girls in the song.
Right.
Just 17. You know that one? Have you ever seen the video?
He's only 17.
Yeah. What's that song? If I could fly, I'd lift you up.
I'd take you into the night.
So if you ever see the video for that, it's this old creepy dude. It starts off with, she's just
16 years old.
And he's the old creepy guy, and he goes to the girl's house, and the dad's like, no, you're not fucking my daughter. And he kidnaps her out the window, and they take a magic carpet away. It's the fucking most fucked up shit.
Oh my God. I never saw the video, but you did mention the first line is, she's just 16 years old. The next line is, leave her alone, they say.
Yeah, they're right. They're correct.
Holy shit. There's so many songs like that. And I love how you go, it's our generation. We're separated.
I was just put on you guys. It's not
no,
me.
But you're right. People who are our age and up are the divide. They are the do you have internet, or are you bah humbug about the whole, that's too new and this is too much. We are that line. It's so weird to be in that and to go like, if we get, especially men, no offense, but I mean, take it if you have it. They come in here and they start with the old notions of stuff that we grew up with, and it's very much sorry you're 40 because they're just pissed off about nothing a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like, that's too much. It's like, okay, well, take some of it.
It's just, I never want to be the older comedian who's just confused about the younger generation, just mad about it. And it's like, you're just mad because you don't get it. Just like people have always been. Don't make it your whole personality that you're mad at progress. Just grow up. I don't know.
What's it like at comedy clubs that you're less conservative than a lot of comics I'm seeing? Do they ever say like, we can't say this anymore? Do you have to play dumb?
They don't, they don't have me in a lot of comedy clubs, probably for that reason. I don't, I like to believe I've got somewhat progressive views, and I think they don't book me for that reason.
Do you ever think about it, like before you send out a tweet, like this could hurt a club date this weekend? Maybe I shouldn't. Do you debate about it?
I think about it in general all the time. I don't want my comedy to negatively affect anybody. I don't think about it in terms of like, will I get in trouble for saying this? I think about it like, what is the goal of this, and what am I trying to accomplish? I never want to like, I'm not one of these comics that just wants to like upset the crowd and, yell at people and
you're teaching stand-up now, right?
Yeah, I'm teaching stand-up.
So I imagine that newbies go right to the stereotypical, and even if it's making fun of themselves. So do you find that a lot, and do you know how to veer them away from that yet?
I found somewhat, a lot of them are young, and they're they're very conscious. I found like my class now, at first there's 3 dudes now, but at first it was just me and like 6 girls. It was very like a league of their own. Just very young girl, and I was teaching them about it, and they're all very conscious. Did you tell them not to cry? I had to tell them not to cry. The whole class, because they're all just weeping constantly. And I was just screaming.
There's whining in comedy, just no crying.
There's a lot of whining, but you can't
complain. Yeah,
no tears can fall. But there's some things, I've just told them like, listen, if you're gonna, a lot of comedy is like, going up to the line and singing sounds like, just, be aware that if you want to cross it, it's up to you. I can't tell you not to, but just be, think about what your goal is and what you want to get from the audience. Are you looking to like upset people and be controversial, or are you just trying to make people laugh? So, I'm just like, I can't tell you what to say or what not to say, but just be careful. Because it was hard when I first started, like the roast comedy was the biggest thing in the world. That's when people dig up tweets from like when I started, like it's like everything was fucked up because that's what we're told was funny. The most like racist, sexist shit I found old jokes that I wrote, they're like horrific just because that's the comedy that was like in this style. My cat ripped up one of my comedy notebooks, like one of my first one, and
probably for the best.
It was great. He dropped a piece of paper on my chest. It just said "fat girl tits." It's like, what the fuck? I was like, what was I talking? I was like, I gotta burn. It's like he just wanted to remind me of my horrific past when I.
You know what? I have literally like 1 or 2 giant boxes of old journals that, even though I grew up in New York, I now live in Long Island City, there's no room for any of it. I'm holding this. I was thinking of getting rid of all of it. The only thing I could see using my old journals for is to go, what? Or to be on one of those shows where you read your journals and everyone laughs at you. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I can make up what's in my journal if I need to be on that. It's basically like fake poetry so that nobody understands how sad I am. It's like,
that's beautiful. I'd love to hear some.
Yeah, some of them I turned into songs because I was pursuing singing, but others are like, what rhymes with rain? That's it.
So many things.
You will see in the back of my journals, I will actually write out all the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, so that I can go there and go, Bane, Kane, Dane, Fane, and rhyme what the next line is. And that is how I find my emotions, everybody, as a 12-year-old little girl. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's beautiful. That's how
does Courtney keep a diary, Casey?
No, I don't think so. She's not a very outward emotional person. She's got one emotion, is rage. So,
Oh, not you, honey.
at least I don't think she's here, but yeah, I hope not.
Newsy is in our chat. We're live on YouTube, and he's saying, "I'm doing your podcast journal at you," because he does a show called Q&A, and he goes, let's say today's February 4th. He'll go to all of our February 4th recordings and let us know what we were like since 2005.
Wow.
So
That's
yeah,
intense.
in a way. I mean, I wonder if I should go through my journals as like one YouTube post, but it's so stupid. It's so, are people really interested in that? I ask you.
Somebody
what,
is, I'm sure.
What could it be? Oh, you thought someone was cute and you were 12. I think I forced myself to find people cute because I wanted to have a teenage experience. So it's like, well, I better have a crush on someone. And I think like half the shit I wrote in there was just because I wanted to be Alyssa Milano on Who's the Boss. That's all.
Didn't we all? Why you didn't like naturally have crushes? Speaking of 90s, I delivered flowers to Carrie Russell yesterday. She was an angel. But anyway.
Can you help me out? Who is that?
She was Felicity. She was The
Americans is more recent.
She's very sweet, more recent. Yeah. But you didn't find you had crushes on people when you were 12 or what?
I'm sure I did, but I was so repressed that I think I was just looking. I really wanted my teenage years to look like every movie. I wanted, especially because I lived in New York City. So I really wanted to, when I first went to clubs, when I first went to the Palladium Limelight, my first club was the Palladium. And I was like, show me the mayhem. I want this shit to light on fire. Like everything that happens, I want to see drug deals in the corner. I want to see people half naked. I want to see people suddenly like soap coming out of somewhere and it's a big water party all of a sudden. I don't know. And I was disappointed when it was just a regular adult place to be. I was like, all right, we got to try harder next time. What's a more fucked up place? I wanted to find that. I went to the mall because every single sitcom in the 80s was, and then we got into the mall. So I'm like, let's go to the mall. That's where it's happening, folks.
Yeah, but there wasn't shit, right? Like I wondered, everyone's go hang out at the mall. I was like, what the fuck is happening in the mall? I've hung out at the mall. There's nothing going on. There's Thor.
Nothing happens at the mall. I end up buying earrings I never wear. And I'm so upset. And I try not to eat the whole time because I have food at home and I don't want to waste money on sad noodles. That's my teenage life. I was trying to be what I saw on TV.
Have you noticed there's not a lot of songs written from the kids' point of view? He was an old 42. That's when you know something weird's going on, right?
He dragged me out my window on his carpet. Yeah.
Anybody here ever read somebody's journal or diary?
I probably have. I'm a big snooper, but I can't think of.
I did it once. You know, it's the worst. It's the worst thing you can do because they don't even know their thoughts, quite frankly. They're really just vomiting on a page. So you're reading it like it is something. And it's very hard not to correct something. Like we didn't go to lunch first.
You're crossing stuff out?
Yeah. Notes on the bottom. No, it's important that you didn't get the movie tickets before we went to lunch.
Also, he was making sure it was grammatically correct, adding commas.
Yeah. Did you go through my notes? No, you edited it all. You signed it afterward. Whose diary did you go through?
Somebody I was dating.
Oh, all right. They had a physical diary?
Yeah. And look, obviously it's my fault, but if you could just not leave one into temptation and hide the diary, don't have it on your shelf.
It's her fault. It's her fault. We all agree. We're putting on a shelf.
I write in a journal every morning, and I would not invite anybody to read it because my first thoughts are terrible.
Yeah.
My first thoughts should be put in a journal and then immediately burned, and then I can have a nice day. And that's why I write in a journal, so that these thoughts can go there instead of anywhere else in my life.
Yeah. Waking up is the worst.
That's what I mean.
I'd read somebody else's diary and be like, well, this is written because you want people to see it. All right. The gown was that extravagant, really?
The gown was that extravagant. Being fucking Anastasia's, no, it's insane.
Bucho's writing, even a diary can't trick Keith.
Of course, your girlfriend, Courtney McGinnis, your
Girlfriend.
My wife.
Ooh.
your wife. You're still with. Okay.
Yeah, we got divorced. We're just trying dating again.
So you find each other just doing comedy. Have you ever put yourself out there? Have you ever hit on somebody for a first date? That kind of thing.
No, very rarely. I was very, very embarrassed. I never made moves on anybody unless they've like made it very explicitly clear every move. Like Courtney, she says I kissed her first, but there's no way. We were at a bar dancing and she was grinding all over me. She said I want to grind on your cock, and she said it with like a laugh, but I was like, that wasn't funny. And then like we were on the train and she was just like staring in my eyes this close. Like, so it's like, yeah, I kiss, but I mean, you basically you laid all the breadcrumbs out there. I've never been one to like just go out of my way and try to hit on someone. It's very embarrassing. Flirting the whole time. I'm so glad I never have to do it again. Hopefully. That was Casey's vows.
Thank you, Casey, for reliving that with us.
I love you. I never want to have to go through this again.
I don't want to talk to
you. Me when I used to date. And, I'm like, if I have to tell one more person stories about my dad, I swear, like you're it. I'm done repeating the same fucking stories about school.
Yeah. I did like first dates once they're, because there's an interest, and I got fun stories. I'm a people pleaser, so I like winning people over. But that was it. After that, no thanks. Approaching a stranger at a bar, I'd rather fucking kill myself. No thanks.
That is I don't know how people do that, and I don't know how they do it like all night. I guess once you get into the swing of things, I don't know.
Courtney's great at it. You should ask her that.
I also want to ask you about the mustache decision. Yours or Courtney's?
Well, here's the thing. I tried it and she fucking loved it. And I've done experiments. She's way nicer than me when I have a mustache because she loves it. And if you like a mustache, then something fucked up happened in your childhood. Like you should not be attracted. And this is thin and wispy. I just fermented it. I dyed it to make it darker because it was fucking clear before. And she is so attracted to it, and there's something wrong with it. But, whatever she wants.
That's awesome.
Joining us today, the great Joe Firestone. Hello, Joe. Just in time.
Hi. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Just in time. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. What's the thought process behind your mustache?
Yeah. It's I just try to grow it out as long as possible. I really apologize. My dog is he thinks this is the time to maybe like start his podcast career. He's been barking quite a bit.
We don't hear him so far. So
really, that's amazing. He's really loud. It's good.
What an angel.
Yeah, and he's an angel.
Well, I say just in time. What do we think of Casey's mustache?
I saw it in person. I think honestly, Casey, I think it might even help the stand-up.
Thank you.
It's funny.
It's hurt a bit because people, people think I'm too sexy to be funny. I'm also wearing a velour. Remember last time I saw you, I was wearing a velour shirt. I think you said, "Are you wet?" I said, "I got another one. Now I'm only wearing velour." So I got a whole
velour
vibe
and a mustache.
I got a whole thing going. Also, I discovered a kitten in an abandoned. Look at it, I'm all scratched up. I was cleaning an empty apartment building the other day, and a little kitten crawled out of nowhere. And I cleaned it up and I took it home. It's in the other room right now. And she's a gorgeous little angel. But
Are you going to keep her?
Well, my cat I have now fucking hates it. And he's been attacking me because I'm mad about it. And Courtney says we can't have another cat. But I got one more day to convince her. But I love this little baby.
What should we do? She'll be on soon. What should we do to convince her?
Say you need to have the cat. You need to have a playmate for Levon, our other cat. I've already named her Loretta. They're gonna be angels, and what if you're gonna miss this thing? Think of all the memories we can make together. It'll be beautiful.
Levon and Loretta. Yeah, you got to have Loretta. You can't just have a Levon.
Think of all the memories. Think of all the memories.
By the way, Joe is in a relationship. How long has this been going on? This is the real deal, right?
Yeah.
This
It's the
better
real. It's the real deal. It's been about 4.5 years.
4.5 years. Look at this. What's the secret? How long have you been married, Casey? Where are we at now?
I don't know.
You-
It's like 2.5 years.
He's going. Could you ask Courtney for me when she comes in? That's gonna.
We've got special cups made that have our anniversary date on it, so I don't have to remember. But I think
Smart.
it's 2.5 years. November 2nd, something. 2000.
What's the secret, Joe? What should Casey know?
You think I should?
Somebody doubled the time he's been with somebody, and look at him. I don't know.
Well, Casey, you were with her before you got married,
Yes.
right?
No, we got married the first night. She said, "I want to grind on your cock," and I said, "This is my wife."
I have no advice. I don't know what to. I don't think I should. I think Casey should be giving me advice. To be perfectly honest.
There's no
Casey,
advice.
what advice do you have for Joe?
There's no advice to be had. It depends on it's person by person.
That's great advice.
I say, just love him, let him yell at you, let him smack you around a while, once in a while.
You ever look through your partner's diary, Joe?
My boyfriend doesn't have a diary, but if he did, I'd read it for sure. But he,
So tempting, right?
yeah. The only thing I know is his Paramount Plus password, and so I know what he's done there. And that's a diary of sorts.
Right.
A lot of Tulsa King.
Like, what are you watching this?
Yep. What's that one? The Cowboys. He loves the Cowboys.
Yellowstone.
He loves to watch Yellowstone. And I knew that from his Paramount Plus account.
Oh, you know what? Now your browser history is your diary.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So you delete that, and that's like putting your diary away or burning it, right?
Mm.
Yes. Passwords are your diary now.
Well, I gave Kyle my passwords to streaming services. So obviously her kids use those streaming services. And surprise, surprise, I now have a list where every single show stops at the end of a porn scene. Like fucking in bed. And I'm like, that's an interesting place when you had to go to school.
I had that. We didn't have internet, and I had just said there was a movie, Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. It was a sequel, Nicolas Cage. And there was one scene where he fucks a lady on the hood of a car. And my girlfriend, just now, after all, she's like, "You really like that Bad Lieutenant movie, huh?" And it's my only access to porn. So I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good." I just had it stopped at that one scene every fucking day.
When did you get porn? You didn't have porn as a kid, Casey?
No, I didn't get the internet until college, and then I didn't get my own computer until I was probably like 26.
Because it wasn't around, or
yeah, I was poor.
Oh, okay.
Poor. Yeah, that's about it.
Did your friends have it?
Yeah, my friends had it.
Were they like printing porn for you?
No, I used to. Well, I remember my friend showed me the first porn I ever saw. I'm not proud of this, but I went to my friend's house. He's like, "I got some videos," and one of them was a lady blowing a dog. And the other
I like that she's called a lady in this scenario.
She's a
yes.
lady. She's a nice
And the
lady.
dog. I like you calling it a dog.
We were talking about that documentary. Don't pick up the phone, where some pervert calls managers and has the manager do sick shit to the employees. But anytime a manager or a cop described the phone call, it's like, then the gentleman called and
The gentleman. This vagabond. Yeah, and another one was like an old witch type lady picking up little frogs and putting them in a lady's pussy. And those are the first two porns I saw. I remember I went to school on Monday. They're like, "I heard you saw porn over the weekend. Did you like it?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was okay." I thought this was porn watch, this fucked up animal shit.
Did you think that? Oh, Joe left. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm here. I love porn. I think it's so cool to talk about. My dog is really having a great time. He decided this is the time he starts screaming. He was screaming. He didn't like it.
Was the dog getting blown thing?
Yeah. Yeah,
Did you think that all porn was involved?
It seemed like it from the the small sample size I had. It seemed to be.
Mom, we got to get some frogs.
I didn't hear, "Mom, we got to get some frogs."
You got to put something on your vision board. You have to show the universe you care.
You're right.
Oh my God! I didn't have porn growing up, or obviously the internet or whatever, but there would be like after hours in some channels, like if it was past midnight, they would get a little racy in their content. And I remember this one. This is what I thought porn was like. It was very much somebody being bad and the other person needing to punish. It was always like a dominant. And I think that's what you can put in a regular movie to make it still like just rated R, or not even rated R, because this was regular TV. So it was this woman who was a grown adult in real life, but she's pretending to be a student. And she's at the principal's office and he's like, "You've been really bad." And she's like, "Why don't you open me up and find out why?" And she like unbuttoned her pants. And I'm like, that's how it happens? I'm like, wow. What? And then he goes for it. And I'm like, he's attracted to this? That's a stupid line. He's an adult. I would figure he's heard better lines. And then like, he's interested in her. What does she have to offer? I was so like, it so confused me, but it so seemed like that was the scenario of everybody who there was no boobs, there was no nakedness, there was no butts, there was just this idea of sex. They cut to commercial right after that, but
yeah, that's pretty.
I didn't know what I was doing. All you got was that cross section in health class where okay, fallopian tubes, but can you tell me where the vagina is?
You're just beating off the medical graphs and stuff. The labia minora. That's beautiful.
Where did you get your first porn, Casey? Where did you get
my first porn I ever purchased? Was in my college town. There was a little like place that sold bongs and porn DVDs. And I remember I put it in my coat with my hood up. He thought I was stealing it, but I was just embarrassed. And I bought it. And then I snuck it back to the dorm. Got the business.
That's more sanitary than mine. I got mine from the woods.
Oh, the woods. Yeah.
Yeah, take a porn, leave a porn woods.
Yeah, it's a community.
It's so weird because they call it like getting wood, and you find the porno.
Where it came from, I bet.
That's it.
I'm gonna go get some wood from the forest.
There's a paper shortage now. You know that.
Uh-huh.
And Prince Harry's book isn't helping. I'm just saying, but
Did you have pornography when you were a kid, Joe?
I did not have it. No, there was, hi Dave. There was like, but I remember there was like, the after hours programming. We didn't have cable. So that was also, it was more of a go to friends' houses and get corrupted kind of thing. But I remember there was a movie. We used to watch R-rated movies for the sex scenes, and there was a movie called Blue Lagoon that we would watch a lot because there was a full frontal male nudity in it.
Oh yeah,
Blue Lagoon had full frontal. Weren't they children?
Yeah.
But we were children too, and that's and that's what makes it so legal.
Dave Hill, how you doing, Dave?
Good. How are you? How are you
well,
guys?
thank you. We're all talking about the pornography over here. And where did you find your first porn?
I just heard you say the woods. It was the same thing. We would find it in the woods or like behind the backstop up at school, because there was like all these bushes and stuff back there. But you tend to find it always in nature, and it was just like, I remember just like finding a penthouse like open on a tree stump in the woods, and just like I was like raised like super Catholic, so I thought like I would just be struck down for even like turning the pages, but I remember one time I worked up the gumption I took a centerfold. I swung for the fences and removed the centerfold, and I folded it up as small. It's like the size of a stamp, and I hid it in my Evel Knievel trailer that I had. The Evel Knievel, like the motorcycle. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. What's the trailer? What do you mean?
Well, if you ask your nights, like for Christmas, like there's the motorcycle and the crank But then he had a trailer too that you could get.
Wow.
And I had the trailer. I got it for Christmas one year, and it was like a trailer that Evel Knievel lived in when he was on the road. and so
That whole story, he made up what he was cooking for breakfast. Evel Knievel's
it was the whole thing. Yeah, it was just life on the road as a daredevil. And I put the folded up penthouse into the Evel Knievel thing. And then I would move it like every couple of days because I was certain like my dad was like tracking my I remember I put it like in the bed frame, and then I finally just couldn't handle it anymore and I had to throw it out. I think I tore it up and flushed it down the toilet.
Oh wow. Damn. That's a wild
Yeah.
story, Dave. All right. Well, it's my time to go, right? And my beautiful wife's right here. So should I just switch over? How's this work?
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
that sounds good.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Keith.
Nice
Thank
to see you,
Kendra.
Keith.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Dave. I love
Thank you, Casey.
And everybody, welcome the hottest. Well, wait, what do you want to say?
Where can people find you?
They can find me at KCJ Salengo on Instagram and Twitter, and that's about it. And now,
Awesome.
welcoming the hottest woman to ever step foot on a stage. She's got big tits and a tiny pussy. She's a beautiful gal. She's my wife,
Everybody, by the way.
Miss Courtney McGinnis Salengo.
Okay, no, those are the wrong
All
ones.
right, come here.
That's a beautiful introduction.
It was.
I think he was just trying to prove they were indeed together. Hello, Courtney.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Tiny pussy over here. How's it going?
Is your favorite movie Spice World?
It's up there for sure, 100%. What a commentary on pop culture, on the media. It's so iconic. I could die. I could die right now.
Casey's saying it's hard to find that movie, and the big reason is because Gary Glitter is featured in it, the kid toucher.
Oh, the
Wow.
kid
Keith,
toucher.
bringing it up again. Welcome, Courtney. How are
Thank you
you?
so much. This is what I've learned in the last decade. You can't like anything. That's what I've learned. Hi, Dave. Hi, Joe. Hi, everyone.
How's it going?
What's up?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you guys too. You're talking about porn?
Yeah.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yes. very
Did you
cool.
have porn as a
Where did you
kid?
find your first porn ever, Courtney? Where'd you see it?
On Skinamax, like the late night, turning the TV really, really low, that sort of thing. You know, classy lady stuff.
Would you masturbate when your parents were sleeping?
Yeah, of course. What? I'm a human being. Yes. Yeah, like in my room. Yeah. But I have a very visual memory, so I'd watch it downstairs and I'd be like, nice, and then I'd go upstairs.
Oh, okay. You're like,
Lock the door.
Remember this.
I gotta remember this. It's super hot.
Bronco. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Look at this.
Look at
The
this.
weed fairy. And I still didn't finish the other weed.
Wow. That's so nice.
It's so nice, right? Wow.
Beautiful.
I
Love
think we're
is
going to
real.
do like the weed fairy and then the coffee fairy and then the weed fairy and then the coffee fairy.
You
and
are
then, like,
wow. You're gonna go on a real roller coaster. You could just do them all back to back.
I'm 47. This is my roller coaster now. I don't get on roller coasters. No,
I
thank
think-
you. That hurts the neck.
I think you need a water fairy.
Oh, look at that.
Okay. Okay.
Joe is worried
Hey,
about
I got-
hydration.
Yeah.
Remind me, because I got distracted. What happened? What was Evel Knievel and porn relationship?
Oh, I used to hide the porn that I found in the woods in Evel Knievel's trailer.
Oh, wow. This is a big trailer.
Well, it was to scale, I think it suited him really well. But yeah, I would put it in there, hide it under the driver's seat or whatever. But then I was just convinced like my parents were somehow on to me.
I would take the porn that I found in the woods and rip out all the pictures, and I put them in a trapper keeper.
Oh my gosh, brazen.
Brazen.
But there you can't act like, I don't know, you got it from somebody in school. This is premeditated.
Right.
But then that's how you got in trouble, right? Because your dad found your trapper keeper.
That's how I got caught. My dad, he was a Catholic priest. We went to church. On the way back, we got home. Everybody's about to get out of the car. He tells me to stay in there. And then he goes,
Oh no.
and then he starts driving away. And I'm like, oh, where are we going?
Somewhere fun, of course.
Going
You did so good at church. He's gonna leave your siblings behind. They didn't do as good.
right. So I'm like, I don't know what this could be. I go, where are we going? He's just a weirdo. He can't talk normally. So he says, we're going to the shores of Tripoli. That makes no fucking sense. We go to the local state park, and he says, this is not the shores of Tripoli. This is the state park. But I am your father. And I have a question. I'm like, okay. And he goes he reaches in the back seat, takes a brown paper bag, puts it in the front where I'm sitting, and says, what is this? I'm like, a paper bag? No. And he takes out the trapper keeper. What is this? I go, oh, a trapper keeper. He goes, no. What's inside? Just in case it all fell out somehow. And he opens it up for a split second, and I see it's all the porn. And he's like, where did you get this? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I stole it from somebody at school, so nobody would get in trouble. And then I got hit on the ass when I got home. Cut 2 years later, now that I think about it, he was hitting on my ex-wife and telling her she makes his libido jingle. But interesting that me having porn in school was a little too much.
I mean, that's the most
Trapper
Catholic
keeper.
shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
I'm going to shame you, but I'm going to be doing something way worse.
Right. Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, that was his father-son talk.
It really does. When you
Beautiful.
keep the porn in there, it really is like trapper keeper. I don't even know her. You know.
But it's even weirder because I didn't masturbate till I was 18. So I don't know if I'm just studying these women or not, but I'm like, this looks good.
Did you not
Because I
know?
was religious, and I don't know. It was obviously never talked about in the house. In school, people would be like, I bet you jerk off. It was almost derogatory. So you didn't really, I didn't even think about it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a similar, Catholicism.
Were you thinking like, hey, I better not touch, or that's the devil's business?
Oh my God. Yeah. I thought like it was just, pathway to Satan.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what we were taught.
You're not wrong.
No, not wrong. But now I'm just fully on the side of Satan on, all things.
Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say my dad, I grew up Irish Catholic, culturally, I wasn't forced to go to church, but, I had to feel guilty about everything. So I got all the good parts. And, my dad is, they own their own small business. My parents are small business owners. And he always jokes like his first small business, he used to, when I was a kid, he told me his first small business was he took around the red wagon and he made like ices for people. He used to get a big block of ice and shave it down and put the flavored syrups. That was like the cute version of the story. But the real version of the story is he would steal my grandpa's Playboy magazines and he would have them in his jacket pocket. So the cover was he would make these shaved ice, but the real story was he was selling porn to like his little dude friends in the neighborhood.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That is
amazing?
so cool. If you found out
Entrepreneurial.
your kid did that, would you not be so proud? Like that is
cut to him dropping out of high school and starting his own business. He tells me that I was like, did you get your GED? He's like, no, they just let me leave. It was okay.
They let me leave.
I was like, okay, you dropped that. But yeah, no, he's from day one. I feel like my grandparents couldn't even be mad, right? That's like,
right.
He's gonna do something great.
Yeah, it's best that your grandparents pretend they don't know.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, here's somebody underage with some material that they can get in trouble with. So it's like, you know what? If your parents didn't find out, you did a good job and they're happy about that.
Absolutely.
Like, I know my parents didn't want to know everything. They still don't. That's why we don't talk. They're like, we don't like what you say. Maybe don't call us.
How do you, Dave, how did you get over or did you never, but how do you get over the religious aspect of it? For me, a woman made the move. It was a blow job. I came, my eyes fluttered like I was in the Matrix receiving helicopter instructions. It's okay. This isn't bad. There's no way. Right away, I knew like, no, God made this happen if he's around and he wants it to happen. And boom.
Yeah. I would say it was something along those lines where I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I can't believe this is possible. And also I can't believe another human would want anything to do with me in that regard.
Why?
I was just stunned. I could not, I was like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. And I can't believe there was another human being involved that wanted to be a part of this amazing thing that just happened.
I can't believe that they try to convince teenagers to walk around with their triggers loaded. Just fucking ew. Why would you encourage not jerking off? Just leave them alone. At teenagers, you could probably jerk off like 8 times a day. Don't do it at all and then go around other human beings and try to, be regular? Ew. Just, that's like, why don't you tell them not to pee either? Because that's gross. Shitting is way more disgusting than any of these things. Don't tell them not to throw up when they're sick. It's just not for me. What the hell?
How you get the demons out. You got to get them out or you're such a weirdo.
Has anybody here though
1000%.
at the opposite, like parents that are supportive or supporters of
Ew.
but parents who do talk about sex openly?
No.
Oh God.
That's worse.
No.
I still have never discussed it with my parents.
Or anyone.
Yeah, you know what? I wonder if it's worse. And the chat, when you guys hear this, like, is it worse if your parents do talk openly and frequently about sex or not at all and like are repressive and weird and
my parents are somewhere in between because my dad is definitely like disgusting and he thinks he's so funny. He when we moved into this new apartment before we got married, they got us this bed. And my dad high-fived Casey and goes, "You like the new workbench?"
Wow.
That's
oh my God.
That's fucked up. But like we would never acknowledge the reality of it. It's just like it's funny. You know?
Yeah.
So you're a comic, you say.
Yeah, exactly.
My dad, we don't talk now, of course, but a couple years ago when we would, he did like to throw out these winks, which was weird because we could never talk about sex. But I remember once we went to a theme park and it was one of those log flute rides, and he's with me and my girlfriend at the time, and I sit down in the log ride. He turns to my girlfriend. He's like, "All right, you go in next." And then she's sitting on my lap, and then after, like, "You see what I did? You're welcome." Like, what? That my dick's right on her ass. Like, what? Who are you? How is this a conversation now? And if it's when it was my birthday, every year he says, "Me and your mother, we really enjoyed making you." I'm like, who is this?
No.
Who is it? You got me in trouble for porn. You smacked my ass. What is this?
Ew, and you got in trouble for porn and got your ass smacked.
I was gonna say that's mixed messages.
Yeah.
Fucked up. As soon as you said log flute, I was like, log flute? I hardly know her. So
Right.
I don't know why that bothered me.
Newsy's saying my dad tried to encourage me to be a player when I was in middle school.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I had an uncle like that. And he lived in Israel. When we would visit him, he would try to turn my siblings, I only have brothers, into bros. And they were so young. Like, I know we were under 12, right? And he once said, "Hey guys, let's take you to the mall and we could put a mirror on your shoes and just walk next to a girl with a skirt on and you could see up her skirt." And I was like, how come he's not asking me to come?
Oh
Like, I just felt so left out. I didn't care.
I want to see underwear too.
I thought that was so fucking weird. I'm like, you're allowed to say that? And that's why I just think men think they're allowed to do that. It wasn't a secret. It wasn't even considered sexual harassment. It was, let's go do this. I am the grown up. You are children.
It's very telling that you said he was trying to make them bros, but really he's trying to make them predators.
Right.
Right.
Those words are somewhat interchangeable.
That's true.
Yeah.
It ended up if we would drive, me and my dad, when I was an adult, and I'd just be looking out the window, and then my dad would go, I saw that. And I look at him, I'm like, what? And he's like, I saw what you saw. I'm like, what? He's like, the woman, it's okay. I'm like, well, I'm 40 something. Yeah, it's probably okay.
I'm 40.
You don't have to admit it. I remember after getting punished for the porn, and I was young, and you had the word voluptuous was in some kind of homework. And I'm like, what's this word mean? He's like, the women that you like. I'm like, this isn't cute now. My ass is still red from last week. How's that cute? The women you like. Like, is this bad or good or fine or indifferent? Who are you?
Voluptuous.
Pre-roller is writing, my dad's only advice was to, quote, keep your stick on the ice. What?
Mine was when I went to prom. He goes, and son, last minute, always remember, keep your pecker in your pants. I'm like, all right, there we go.
That one went out of style.
5 children. He's disgusted.
Well, I haven't heard that the word pecker I'd say use without quotes in a quite a while. I think
he said
that one. Yeah, that one went. Maybe it'll have a comeback in 2024.
If his father has anything to do with it, yes.
Peccaro, it sounds like it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Pecker's not.
It's too bird.
Really thin. Yeah.
It's too bird-like. Yeah.
Pecker is a little too telling about the way you have sex.
Yeah.
Pecker.
Born with a pecker. You get older, you have a dick.
Okay.
Good to
My dad would say, it's your birthday. We really enjoyed making you. And mom's standing behind him, shaking her head. No, it wasn't really.
Oh my God. How is that so TMI? Hunter says, I'm so glad my dad was distant and quiet.
Depressed. Your dad struggled with depression.
Anna, and I think she's quoting her dad here, quote, if you're going to go out and play, always wear a raincoat. That's
like some 1950s shit.
Yeah. Also, not bad advice.
It rains so much here. It really is always raining.
I don't know that I'd talk to
I'm absolutely soaked. I'll tell you that.
I don't know that I'd talk to my kids per se about sex, but I would put pictures of babies and venereal diseases as wallpaper.
Right. Speaking of one of my other favorite movies of all time, 10 Things I Hate About You. Are we familiar?
Oh, yeah.
Where every time the girl goes out, the dad makes her wear the pregnancy belly. Not bad. Not bad.
I have to see that movie. Are you serious?
That's
my God.
That's so good. My dad would get really hot. We're also a big movie family, and I watched a lot of really inappropriate movies at a very young age. I watched The Shining when I was like 9. It's like not. But my dad always just anytime something awkward would come on the screen, my dad always goes, well, guess I'm watching porn with my daughters again. And I was like, then that absolutely diffused the situation. I would like to anyone take that and use it, because I think it really helps just, burst the awkward bubble of the room.
There's a movie, what was it? Oh, it's called Real Men. And it was with the guy that played John Tripper.
Jack Ritter.
Jack Ritter.
John Ritter.
John Ritter, Jack Tripper, right. So it was with John Ritter and the other Belushi. And they crash, they're like detectives or something, and they crash through a window, and a hotel window, and the woman's naked there. I was in my 20s, didn't even live at home, but my dad got a Betamax from somebody and playing that, and I had to close my eyes when that scene was about to come. It was watched ahead of time.
Oh, that's even weirder. Are you sitting there with your eyes closed?
They would stare at me. Yeah, I had to not look.
So everyone's
Maybe
staring
tell
at
me
you.
when
No one's looking at the movie. It's playing. Can you hear it?
They're able to look at both. They can look at both.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's amazing.
They don't even
Also,
have eyes like a lizard, but they're able to see when the scene is over. And
listener Liz is saying Casey's dad sounds pretty hilarious. And it's because Courtney has Casey's name on her screen.
Sorry about that. Hold on. How do I change this?
Now,
I am not my husband.
The 10 things I hate about you thing reminded me like, okay, so maybe, the venereal disease idea of wallpaper. What about this? Random crying babies played like music throughout the day and night, because that's what you're going to have to like, oh, looks like 3 a.m. We're going to party with this baby sound.
good. Grape shit. I like it.
Ooh, what about reruns of Teen Mom? Huh? That'd be cool too.
Oh,
Teen Mom has gotten it's really gone downhill. It used to be kind of a destination, you know what I mean? I think people really like to be on that show, but then I think it really did. I don't know if it changed directors or what happened, but I feel like it took a sadder note,
What's happening?
I think they were afraid that girls would like you said, want to be on it. We got to make this real. I've only seen a few episodes and it was horrible. It was scary.
Yeah, it's a little scary now.
My dad would talk about the movies now and say how risque they are, this kind of thing. But it was weird when he would compare it to old black and white movies that he would see, and he said they didn't show you exactly the sex or what was going on, and then he says, and that made it so much more sultry. There was so much more in that. I'm like, then what do you do? Then what do you do? It was
I remember
hotter.
My dad and my family and I were watching Bad Boys 2, great franchise, and we're sitting there, and that's the one where they're stopping the ecstasy dealers. This came out in the early 2000s when ecstasy was still a thing, and all these girls are like in a club and they're like dancing and making out with each other, and my dad's sitting on the couch stoned, and he goes, "You see that, girls? That's why you don't do ecstasy. You take your clothes off and you make out with other girls." I like it was fatherly advice. We were like, "Oh, okay, thanks, Dad." I did a lot of ecstasy after.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Like, this is awesome. What are you talking about?
Did you do drugs when you were a kid? Did you have to hide them from your parents? And were you able to?
Me?
That's to the group, but I felt like it was aimed at Courtney. Pointed.
I did a lot of drugs. Yes.
Did they notice? Is it looking back? Is it how could they?
They never cared about weed. My dad smokes weed, so like I would come home clearly high, and my dad'd be like, "Ugh, just go to bed," And so they were cool about weed, I think, but everything else I was pretty good at hiding. Or I really just did it when I moved to New York.
I wonder if it's easy for kids because kids are so wacko, they don't make sense anyway. So if you're on ecstasy, would I even know it?
Right.
I'd be a lot cooler. I'd be a lot cooler.
Right. Maybe your kids are nicer once they start smoking weed.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, go clean your room. Yeah, I guess that sounds like something I could do.
Whatever.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I'm starting not to care for my dad. I with a drug pamphlet I'm supposed to give to my parents, are your kids doing drugs? I'm like, here, I think you have to sign something that shows I gave it to you. And it says about dilated pupils on certain drugs. And that, so immediately my dad, the detective, puts my eye into a light bulb and is like, let's see your eyes. And then of course my eyes change and they're like, why are your pupils dilated? You're on cocaine.
You're on coke. Who can afford coke in high school? That's
right.
Crazy.
Hey, you don't give me an allowance. What am I doing? Look into that. I remember we had those long wooden matches, and I thought it was fun to light them, and I lit one in the bedroom, and then blew it out, and then he was coming into the door, and I threw the match. It was completely out. I threw it like behind dressers, because I knew I'd get in trouble for just doing that. And then he goes, I smell a sweet smell in here. I'm like, what? He's like, marijuana has a sweet smell. And he started going around the room sniffing, trying to find this weed. And he ended up just smelling every light bulb because it was giving off that heat smell. And it bothers him to this day that he couldn't find it. He knows something was up.
Sounds like he's a really good police dog.
He's some kind of detective. I know when we got we bought the Sega game Sherlock Holmes, and you watch videos and they give you clues and you have to figure out who robbed something or killed somebody. And so I'm playing this with my dad, thinking, hey, maybe we'll connect on something. And somebody's talking to somebody outside, and a bird's chirping. After the scene, my dad says, okay, we have to look for somebody with the last name Bird or Birdie. And I'm like, oh my God, you are.
You are what?
And you're not an idiot, but you're we're adults. You're the dumbest person I ever met. The clue was a bird chirping, so somebody's name is Bird. You fucking idiot. That's one of the saddest things in my life. Oh well.
Looks like we have a new guest. Keith, you want to bring in our new guest?
What if I don't?
Shit.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see
They're a
this.
great group already. Joe Firestone, what should people check out? They want to know about Joe, see how she's doing.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely care about me, and I know it and I feel it. They can follow me on Instagram at Yo-Yo Firestone.
Okay. And how's therapy going?
Good.
Okay. I just heard who gives a shit about me?
No, I honestly, there's so many other. Yeah, we'll get to those issues, I think, in a couple of years. But yeah, we're doing pretty good. And again, I'm sorry for my dog barking for approximately 45 minutes, but it's been a pleasure.
Time to pretend you didn't even notice. Thank you very much.
Okay, goodbye, everybody.
All right.
Love you,
Take care.
Joe.
Bye, Joe.
Dana Gould, how you doing, Dana?
Hi, I'm glad you realize that I will never share a Zoom with Joe Firestone.
I got your memo.
Our families have been feuding over that still for generations now.
We were talking about the first porn that we ever got. I got mine from the Woods, the classic.
Naturally, yes.
How about yourself?
Well, it's interesting. When I was a lad, my father subscribed to Hustler.
Oh my God.
Yeah, not Playboy,
Damn.
not Penthouse. Hustler.
Hustler's the one, just to be clear, where they really gave that pussy.
It's basically if you are going to it when you first look at it, I thought it was a manual for working with cold cuts. When I first saw it, it's like, oh, this is how you slice liverwurst. I never thought of that.
Gosh.
Oh my God.
Yeah, speaking about those school diagrams,
Yeah.
I first time I saw Hustler, I'm like, oh, the pee hole really is a different place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure where we've left eroticism miles back. And then, but I had access to Hustler Keith,
Yeah.
long before I should have. And then years later, when I was like 11, and my friends would have found a Playboy in the woods. What's all that porn doing out in the woods? I've gone to the woods a million times. I've never left with less porn than I had when I entered, which was always none. I think, is there like a masturbation Santa that flies around the world, airlifting whack mags into the forest? Happy masturbation, kids. Ho, ho, ho. Bunch of 12-year-old kids. Oh my God, 20 questions with Gene Hackman. It's always new fiction from Joyce Carol Oates. That's what it always was. But
You know this well.
they would have found a Playboy. And because I grew up on Hustler, I would be the one like, what's that? What do you mean? What's that? It's her face. They show that? That's messed up. But here's the thing. Whenever we were upstairs in my dad's stash, my mom always would say this. She knew, and she would always say the same thing. She would yell from downstairs, whatever you're doing upstairs, all of your relatives up in heaven are watching you. How is that heaven? It's like, hey, you want to go over to Abe Lincoln's house? I'd like to, but my nephew's going to jack off. I should probably stay and watch. He just jacked off an hour ago. He's 13. He jacks off all day. I can't go outside anymore. I got to get a haircut. Such a weird George Carlin on his last special, It's Bad For You, has a brilliant bit about the theory that your relatives up in heaven are helping you do math tests and stuff. It's really amazing.
Were you a?
But that was my first. But the first. Yeah. Where was the first video porn you ever saw?
I found my parents' porn stash.
They had video and stuff.
I was shocked. I was looking for clothes because sometimes I would, steal my mom's shirt or something. Mm-hmm. So it was under some flannel and people. It's not my fault. This was the 90s. And flannel was just, I was like, oh, this big piece of flannel. This is my best day. And I pull it down and it was boxes. And I was so distraught because I was raised where they were so wholesome and so pure and so respectful of other people's bodies. And I looked at the covers and I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And I was so upset. My brother had to explain to me, all adults watch porn. I'm like, but our mommy and daddy, and oh my God. I was at least a teenager. At least.
That's grim.
I really I thought they only have nice thoughts, and I thought nice thoughts were only, not whatever you find on porn boxes to entice you to watch it.
Feel like you somehow did something wrong? Is it just you wish you didn't know? For me, me, I would have been like, yay, found it. I can come in later because I can't go like, hey, we never talk back, but it'd be great to know. I was
so confused.
Karen, she's right. You don't want to think of your parents having those purient.
Well, I could see why it is good. They're normal humans. They're just doing what adults do. And I'm in their room. It would be nice to think that, but they were so overly protective and overly on some pedestal that this was what's true?
They're normal humans. They like bad acting as much as anyone else.
How is life? What do we do on Shabbat now?
I gotta be honest. I love bad movies. I love overacting. I love all of it. And some of the porn will take me out of it sometimes. I can't hear him talk because it's so funny to me. You know what I mean?
It's like, or if you ever see a porn star in the wild, I've seen a couple at Trader Joe's where you're like, how do I know that? Do
I know you from? No, I don't.
Yeah, they look weird dressed. I didn't recognize you with a shirt.
But then they make a face at the price, really eggs, and you're like,
This is a purely visual joke, so the people listening can just appreciate it from your laugh. But a friend of mine was in the car and his dad was visiting LA and his dad was in the passenger seat, and he looks and he sees that in the car next to their car it's Ron Jeremy, and his father does this. His father goes, hey, that's
straight face the end.
Now you'd have to be in jail to do that.
I gotta say,
he's a bad boy. We were in LA for a bit and saw Ron Jeremy there. He was in the lobby of the place we were staying, just dying to get noticed, right?
Yeah.
It's like, anybody here recognize me?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna say thank you.
I did a live sketch with him one time, and we had to rehearse. He obviously was not prepared or anything, whatever. He just loved all these people coming up to him. He was like signing girls' boobs and kissing them and shit. And I was just like, do you mind if we just like run through it one time, whatever? And he kept being like, I don't have my glasses. We have to go somewhere where there's good light. And he kept like trying to take me in like the office or like the back room, trying to take me in the bathroom. I was like, we can stand right here. Thank you so much. We're good.
No, there's better lighting in the bathroom, Courtney, you dumb bitch.
I forgot my glasses. Do
In
you
the
hate old
stalls.
people? In the stalls, exactly. What a weirdo.
You don't know what kind of porn your parents had, do you? It wasn't like a stepmom babysitter shit, or you don't know.
Who, me?
Yeah, picture. I mean, it's one thing if your parents watch porn, but it's another if you actually see that they're watching.
Or like clown porn. It's like,
And then I was a clown for a living for a long time, so that would have been very. I wonder if I saw that and I don't remember, and then oh God, stop it! No, I don't know what it was because I was so freaked out. But if I had to say, it looked like regular hardcore, like you're definitely seeing stuff, but there were so many of them. And I like maybe one fell on the ground, so I had to look at it for a second, but I didn't want to know. Also, if you watch your parents' porn, do you like mind where they stopped it? Because
you can't help it. You can't help but notice. Yeah.
But do you have to rewind it to there so they don't know? Or like
I would never do that. I would never watch my parents.
What's the risk? Yeah, it's not worth the risk.
Oh, it's just I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't know. My brother caught my dad watching porn the other day. My dad's 92.
That's so exciting to know.
Yeah.
No, I mean, not for you, for other people who might turn 92. It's somewhere in you are like, all right, cool.
I imagine though at this age, he's just instead of like semen, it's just ghosts, like animated ghosts. They just fly out.
Of all the people watching you, right?
Yeah, or just like his sperm at this point, they're just ghosts. They're just like, oh.
Isn't it funny how it's like if that happened when your dad was like 40, you guys would be like, oh, disgusting. And now you reach an age, you're like, that's nice.
God bless
I feel like that about my parents. My parents have been married for 37 years or something. And I feel like at this point, it's like, that's kind of nice. They like made it through so much,
It's also like when your kid, falls down and scrapes their knee, not to let them know that they should be in pain, right? You act like
yeah.
So, but when you see your dad jerking off, he's like, oh, and you're like, oh my God, this will change my life. At 92, no one gives a fuck at 92. Like, leave the door open a window, and so I guess it's fine. All right, good for my.
Yeah. It would be interesting if at his age that the porn he watched was like appropriate to how old he would have been at that time. Like instead of like wow, tick up, wow, it's just like you're never fully dressed without a smile.
We're going to say goodbye to the great Dave Hill, but Dave, I do want to talk for a second about your non-sports sports book.
Oh, thanks.
What the fuck am I talking about?
I wrote a book about hockey that's coming out in the fall. Hockey is the only sport I like. It's the only sport I've ever been good at, but it's just like a form of autism or something that I was good at it. I'm not a good athlete at all.
Same thing.
You're
only sport I ever played. Only sport I ever played.
What do you guys think it is? Why is it different than other sports?
We get it. You guys are white. Oh my God.
I played with a bunch of golden retrievers. Does that make me any more Caucasian?
Wow. I mean, just say that you were in Canada also. Jesus.
The only Airbud that wasn't released.
Why do you think that is? Any idea why you happen to be good at that?
I don't know. I think, it's probably because my grandfather was from Canada and I wanted him to love me. So I was like, I will get good at this sport. But by the time I got good at it, he was like, he wasn't, he was, on his deathbed, basically.
Where did you grow up?
In Cleveland.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you played hockey. Yeah.
Yeah, so
you have to. You're in Cleveland, right?
you have to. Well, no,
The
it wasn't
hockey
even that
capital.
popular there. You know, it was.
Do you guys have an NHL team, Cleveland?
There was the Cleveland Barons for 2 seasons, and I saw them when I was like 6 years old or something. And we sat behind the penalty box, and I remember this one player, Len Frigg. He's the first player I saw up close, so I tracked him down. I had drinks with him for the book. I
That's
found him all
great.
these years later, and I was just like, I saw you when I was 6 years old, and you've been like burned in my brain ever since. I think he thought I was insane.
I thought
That's
you said
great.
you had drinks with him when you were 6. I was like, damn. Holy shit.
Couple of dudes with some juice boxes.
So what do you talk about in the book that makes it not a book for sports people per se?
There's almost no statistics, there's very few references to the game itself, how it's played. It's more like what I had to eat at the games. And I went to a lot of games. I went to Kenya. There's one team in all of Kenya. There's one rink, and I went and played with them and hung out with them. And I went back and
being the only one.
What's that?
Are
What's
they
that?
a good team? Are they winning?
They play against each other. They really just scrimmage. And they were surprisingly, what happened? The rink closed because of COVID, so they were playing roller hockey when I went. And I'd never played roller hockey before, but still I was like, I'm going to completely dominate these kids. And
what are they called? The Kenyan anomalies?
the Kenya Ice Lions.
That's great.
And they're really good. Like I went, well, first of all, they took me out the night before. And in Kenya, like when you go out for beer, if you order a beer, they bring you 2 beers every time. So you can almost not go out and not drink.
Same in Dublin.
Incredible.
So I was super hungover, and I showed up, and I'm like, "How long do we play?" And they're like, "Till we can't see the ball anymore." So I played with these kids for 5 hours.
Oh my God.
And they just beat the shit out of me. But yeah. And and I went and I played with my current high school, the kids who are on like the current varsity team. I went and played with them. So it was just
why did you have too much self-esteem that day? What the hell?
I just wanted to go back because I think I don't know, like when I because this is the thing, like I wasn't good at any sports, but I made the varsity team when I was 14. Like I was one of there's 3 freshmen and everyone else was juniors and seniors. So I was good. But then now they're like state champions. So I was like, I want to go back and see if I could keep up with these kids, even though I'm like, 30 years older than all of them. And I didn't keep up with them at all.
No.
Is roller hockey the same as roller derby?
No. Totally.
Okay.
No, it's not.
I'm trying to picture you knock over, but I'm Dave Kill, and you're just
There's a bit of that. I mean, it's just roller blades and stuff. But like they play in Kenya, they play in parking lots, and people are just like the ice cream man will just go right through the game. It was pretty amazing.
All right. Well, I'm into it. Do you have a book title?
I don't have the title yet. I'm currently battling with my publisher over it. I'm not sure. Not battling is a strong word. Deciding.
Hate. Oh, deciding.
You want to share the options and we'll tell you who's right?
No, I don't even want to share the options because it's just such a...
You don't want anybody to take it if somebody's out there is making a book about hockey.
Yeah, someone's going to go, well, we had one title, and then they're like, oh, we just found someone else that took that title.
I find the penalty box to be, I see that title and I go,
yeah, right. That's what, I like that.
If people are presented with a physical box or the idea of a box, their innate first reaction is what's inside. And
how about my penalty box?
Well, it's not a porn that
Ooh.
you.
Sounds like you're
Yeah, that's a
pussy
different.
for
We're
sure.
back to the other conversation.
Yeah.
But that's the draw of storage wars. It's like, I have a storage facility. The doors are shut. Do you want to see what's inside it?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
the only reality show I've considered
Right.
watching.
I've considered watching.
I've not
gotten
seen
there.
it.
Eventually, they're just going to come on one that's just like clown makeup and children's shoes. Like, no, close it up, close it up.
And one blood-stained wig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a bunch of hands.
Dave, what's the best way for people to follow when this book comes out? Don't be shy.
Instagram, Mr. Dave at Mr. Dave Hill at Mr. Dave Hill. I'm still banned for life from Twitter. So
Yeah, you would write. You wrote a lot of anti-Trump things, and
no, I did not. I didn't write any anti-Trump thing. Well,
Huh?
I would say things maybe disagreeing with him, and his supporters would come after me, and then I would respond with mother jokes.
Right.
And
And some
the
of them
thing that
didn't
got
have
me banned-
mothers, so they got sensitive and you were wrong,
Exactly.
misinformation. But in this new Elon world, Elon didn't let you back in?
Not yet, but the one that
Because
tweet
Dave's
that got
very
me-
clear it's not a parody. He's like, no, I seriously, if you fly me out,
Well, the tweet that got me banned for life is someone called me an idiot, and I said, I'm not an idiot, but I am stupid for your mother's beehole.
What's the problem?
And
deal?
yeah, exactly. I didn't even say butthole, beehole.
well,
I'm a
it's worse
gentleman.
when I have to fill in the words for you about banging my mom's butthole.
Yeah, this is true.
That really
True.
gets you banned for life?
Yeah. They shut it's like 4 years ago.
In Trump's America.
Yeah.
Make
But maybe
Dave
I'll
Hill
be
great
back.
again.
Who knows? Maybe I'll be back.
Good luck.
Yeah, being
Good luck
banned
out
from
there.
Twitter is like, the guard shack at the sewage facility has my photo. I can't go in anymore.
Yeah. That's a blessing.
You find yourself happier, more at peace, just not seeing all these stupid comments in general?
Oh, 1,000%. I still had I had another stupid ghost account that I used to archive my erotic short stories. So I can look at
That are also hockey themed. We should specify.
yeah. But not being on Twitter, I instantly had 2 more hours in the day. Yeah, and you don't wake up and feeling horrible.
Yeah, your
I
Instagram
still-
videos don't make themselves. So those 2 hours are now well spent.
It's exactly right. I'm out there.
Don't shade him. I love your Instagram.
Yeah,
video.
absolutely.
It's very funny.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, Dave, thank you so much for your time. It's good seeing you.
Thank you. Great seeing you guys. Have
Thank
a
you.
lovely day.
Thank
Right. Bye-bye.
Sneaky saying, I got a 1-day ban for telling Elon, I hope he falls up the stairs. Go Sneaky.
Up
Weird.
the stairs is such a cutting read. I love it.
I know
By the
I've
way-
fallen up the stairs. I'm just that kind of person.
I just find it interesting that he said, look, if you guys vote me to step down, I'll step down. And they did. And he went, yeah, that one doesn't count.
Just kidding.
It wasn't a big enough area to judge. Of
Well,
people.
it's got to be a Twitter poll or it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oy vey.
All right, Keith, looks like we have a new guest.
You know it. I'm bringing in one Clark Jones.
Oh
Without Courtney, give us a pro and con of Clark Jones, please.
yeah. Pro, his personality, comedy, style, no cons. Also,
Wow.
I got a con. He just entered in the wrong frame.
Oh, God.
I don't know what I'm
You
saying.
dumbass. Okay, sorry. Con. Clark's a dumbass.
He had sideways phones with videos playing over his face.
Hello, Clark, if you're there.
Just came from a room where somebody had you set up.
See, that's Clark for you. That's classic Clark.
Am I here yet?
Sure.
What's up?
How you doing, Clark?
See me? Can you hear me and see me?
Yeah, we can hear and see you.
Oh, I asked that question like 5 times, but I was so committed to the fucking roast that she just like, oh no.
There's
could
nothing
fix the
weird
problem.
about seeing your face and a headshot of you behind you.
nothing. This is my green room. I'm the only comedian who's ever performed here. I'm on the wall. I know the owner. I know the manager. I know the booking manager. I know the bartender. It's very familiar. It's an inside job. But I work to get my stage time. What's up? What's up, Chief Keith? What's up, Courtney Fortley? What's up, Tempter Himda? What's up, Dave Wave? What's up, man? It's Dark Clark.
You do that with practically any name, right?
It's a
if he makes up the name, yeah.
Yeah, Chief Keith. I gotta pronounce not the because you're a podcaster.
Thank you. Podcasters like when you know their name. That is true.
Yeah, it ain't phonetic when you podcast it. You gotta be by the book. Why you gotta get all serious, man? I'm working on this hockey book and I need titles. Come with the riffs. I need Blades of Heel. That's a therapy book that deals with hockey as a way to deal with, tragedy. It's I could give that away. I give that one away. If somebody want to take it, it's fine. I ain't Dave Hill. Like, take that shit. You know what I'm saying? Dana Banger.
Well, Clark, obviously, he seems in a happy and jovial mood. I heard that you just moved with your girlfriend and her son, and things are going all right then? Sounds like a lot of stress. What's happening?
All right, we can switch the mood. Fine. Happy didn't work for you.
When's the last time you jacked off? 2 months ago. Okay. So how's this new going?
Never. It's crazy. It's crazy how I was like, man, I'll never give up beating off. But then something happens when you move in, like with a family, and you feel guilty even talking about it. That's crazy. It's a whole different vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think it's the tones. The walls are very like earth tones, and that's not conducive to erections in any form that I'm finding this out.
How long have you lived with the girlfriend and her son?
It's been 2 weeks.
The lack of coming is making him crazy.
Yo, I got all this backed up cum. It's just jokes. It's just like a notebook. I'm like, nah, I can't tell that one. Can't do that. Can't do that.
I think we have our title.
Yeah, I think the lack of cum. Let's have a chapter. We got a chapter at least. The lack of cum is driving me crazy. Clark's guy to hockey.
How long have you dated before you moved in?
We've known each other 20 years. We've known each other 20 years.
But you wanted to be sure.
You never know. I don't care how bad a comedian's doing that life. You just never know. Next week could be my week. I don't want to jump into shit, and then I can't go back. So let's just see how this 50th JFL audition goes, and then we'll revisit the conversation.
Too real.
I'm getting groupie vibes from you right now because I'm auditioning at the old stand, not the new one, the old one. It's just gonna be me there.
Those are there for the right reasons. How long has it been romantic?
It's been romantic since like the end of 2020, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The pandemic.
How old is
like he is. See, this is where it's gonna get tricky.
A number.
and I know, and it's just been like, yo, I know I love the little boy so much. I'm already protective of like info that I put out into the world. So yes, he is 8 months. He is 8 months, which is a great thing.
I'm just confirming that's the child.
That's yes.
Yes. You got so I thought you were going to be like, he's 27.
Right.
But
I'm neither confirming nor denying that.
Wait. What kind of math is this?
What do you mean?
You know, it got okay, how long have we been serious? About the past few. But it started before that, and we were in different cities and people.
Oh, I see. How was the baby? Of course. How was the baby 8 months if they've been dating for 3 years? Yeah, I follow. And implying it's not your baby. Well, this is fun. You're new age.
For who?
You forgave her. You moved on. Who gives a shit?
It's for Smith, but we are a unit right now. It's the three of us, man, and it was seamless. It was like very lubricated transition.
Interesting choice of words.
I was gonna say.
But I was waiting.
Just lubricated.
Yeah, it's smooth and easy, and like, transition. It didn't even feel like a transition.
Are you guys friends with the baby's dad?
He's completely out of the picture, which is dope. And a
He
blessing
must be with WME. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He must. He's still at the old stand. This is the new stand. He has the old facilities.
What is the situation? And did you have to get over some heartbreak or anything? Are we missing something?
Not at all, man. This was somebody who, and I know the last time I did the show, we talked about like the me dealing with loss and all of that, like my mom and my older brother, and like dealing with that. And she was one of the people who first reached out. And she just did it in the right way and in the right time. Like, she was just there for me. There was no like, hey, what happened? What happened? Like, none of that annoying shit that happens with loss. She handled it the wrong way. And we started with the friendship, and we talked all the time. And I don't talk to nobody who live in another state of a different gender. Like, that's just wild to me. It's too much shit going on where I live. But her and I talked a lot, and I wasn't annoyed. I was very open. I was more Hinder than Keith. You know what I'm saying? You know how like you get annoyed when people out of town, you get on your Chief Keef shit. And I just was like, I was open to it. And then we just took it very much one step at a time. And it's like, I just turned 40 2 weeks ago. And it's just something happens, man, where you know exactly. Like my late 30s, I was starting to know exactly what I didn't want. But now I know exactly what I do want. And all those things came together at the right time. Were you supposedly monogamous? Were you guys in an open relationship? I don't even think about sex no more. So like that wasn't an issue.
Wait, I didn't know you got married.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. I am from a traditional Christian Black family. Forget anything I've done in Bushwick. Throw that out the window. Courtney knows my history.
I was there in the Bushwick days.
Courtney.
What?
We go.
I was like, you changed. You changed.
In a matter of 3 months, no. But yeah, no, like all my traditional upbringing, like all that shit come back up if given the opportunity. You know, where like you go off, maybe if you go off to college or you go off and live in a different city, you're like, yo, this is me, man. This is me. And it's really like who you are maybe at that time. But then there's like age or situation, circumstances come in, like all the things that I was raised on is like, this is how we lose all the white liberals when they get married. Like, you know, everybody was like, fuck that. It's Pride March for life. And then like around 32, 33, they just become conservative. I never got that, but now I kind of do. I'm not conservative, but it's like some of those conservative type tropes or ideas that you're raised on, they reemerge.
No. What?
Am I having a stroke?
No, he's right. He's right. I got married in 2019. I voted for Trump in 2020. You know, this is just what happens.
You got to get married in 2020, man. Yeah. That's the only way to understand what's going on.
You know what's happening is a couple of years ago, Clark decided to take his life seriously, and he's calling it conservative. That's so funny. Like, dude, it's funny that conservatives found a way to make it so that when you start doing things that matter to your future, you're conservative.
They are masters at branding. Like pro-life, that's not pro-life. They're not pro-life. They just anti-liberal.
Are you sure? You're more conservative now.
I'm at least open to the idea. Like I'll stop in Hobby Lobby and see. Okay, all right. Well, these prices are so good. Oh, is anything closed on Sunday? You know, can't be that bad. Let me see. I should be in church. But these prices are, man, this is like a sin how good these prices are.
Are you asexual now, or was it a big was it something you had to get over that it was somebody else's baby and you were in the relationship?
Oh no, I'm not complete. I mean, I'm not completely. We just like, it's just, you know, women, and this is like science. This is science before I even start. And we gotta trust science.
No. You know, women, that's a
It's like,
great
you know,
place to
women.
start.
Yeah,
Let's go. Let's
Here's
go.
the thing.
Tell us.
Let me tell half the room about
You
women
know, a
real quick,
woman, right?
and I don't mean Keith and Dana, if you know what I mean. These, like, she's so much more able to be fluid in her, like, things, her brain of, like, mom.
I mean, tolerating your shit.
Yeah, tolerating my shit. Throw that in the
Mhm.
pot, mix it
Yes.
up.
Patience.
Tolerating my
Yes.
shit, being a mom, teaching the baby how to grab things, teaching me how to grab things, changing my, like, all these things she's just able to do like that, where it's like, I'm like, changing gears is a little bit,
right.
takes more time.
You just discovered that women are human beings. I forgot about the last time that you visited.
Even superhuman sometimes. I mean, like, okay.
How
so
does she do it?
How did you have sex with me and you would just breastfeed? Like, how did that work? Like, how did your mind able to even, grasp something like that? Because I'm still trying to figure it out.
That's called Hakuna Matata.
It's the circle of life.
You know what? I think I see confusion on Keith's face, and
that's like taking a sandwich and throwing it directly into the toilet. You've just done everything in one move.
Confused and about.
Does she tell you, hey, you're not doing loading the dishes right, and you're like, you have someone else's baby? But
wait, right. That was the one promise. We do not bring up old shit. That was one of our early agreements.
Keeps growing,
and it's working.
The old shit.
Yo, as a comic, I don't know if this is a comic thing or just a petty Clark thing, but like that was my way of dealing with everybody. Just accumulate a case, just like a secret lawyer. I never had to submit evidence of anything until the trial. You know what I mean? Like, on TV, you can hide all the evidence you have until they're like, what? What the fuck? I didn't know you had that. And that was my approach to dating. I would just stockpile whatever case I had until, I could blindside them with it. And that was like something that as an adult, Hinda, I have learned to stop doing is not building up, not being a secret lawyer, having all these wild 3 months ago pieces of evidence that they're not ready for.
Okay, so when do you get angry, or have you just gotten rid of that version?
I don't even. No. I threw it out. That's the old me. That's the beta. That's out. You gotta I updated my whole. You know what I'm saying? You shim, and I'm just like, I'm smiling.
When does something become the past? Because it sounds like 1 minute later, you seem so fucking involved, and obviously.
I didn't know it was in me. It was automatic. You look at this boy who what if it was my son the whole time and I was just
trying to pick a fight.
I'm just trying to give myself points I didn't earn. No.
Did you have to take
your kids yours?
No.
Did you have to take a DNA test?
Not at all. I was in a different state the whole time. That's what I'm going with. That's my alibi. Right. But he will be. He will be. And
you're adopting him?
He's just a great. Yeah, we're gonna all have the same last name. It's gonna be cool. Well, she's gonna be a hyphen, but he's gonna be a Jones. It's gonna be beautiful.
So
are you gonna act like it did come from your sperm?
Nope. I'm gonna keep it a buck with him. As soon as he start understanding my language and like how to talk, I'm a bring it up, because I don't want to do it when he like 17. Then he act out because he just got new information. So like,
you're gonna say it, saying it to us like, what's the big fucking deal? This is just our system.
Yeah.
Well, I can give you
we're gonna be on a Zoom and he's gonna be in a different state. Yeah.
As an adoptive parent, one piece of advice I can give you is around 14, 15. Maybe it's different for girls. They will get the birth parent questions of like why, and a good way to start that conversation is, well, first we have to somehow go back and find out what it is that you said. And it must have been a doozy.
That is so fucked up.
Just immediate shift. Immediate shift. Now, if you do it fast enough, like if you start, it's a mind trick. If you blame people fast enough, they will start to come up with reasons of why, of what they may have said and how they may have fucked up. And by that point, once they admit to it being their fault, you just roll with it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that's so horrible.
That's so funny. That's horrible, but it works. Shit. It's advantages to being smarter than the other person.
So, Clark, are you drinking? Growing up, your family would go outside and drink and come back, and you didn't even know. Are you minding like that kids can tell later or find out later?
No, because I mean, I'm just gonna follow in like my uncles. Well, not completely their footsteps, but they would leave and come back hilarious. And like I thought food made you funny. I was like, oh, this is how you kill a room. Like you eat a big ass meal. It would always be like after Thanksgiving or Christmas, like after all the food's been ate, you know, they left for maybe an hour and a half and come back and just like feed up. And I'm like, damn, okay, food and a little bit of time passing is the key to comedy. And
they would leave and come back hilarious.
They would leave and come back hilarious.
That's amazing.
And I was just like, oh, okay, comedy is tragedy plus time. So like the argument, then a little time passes, everybody come back fucking Rodney Dangerfield.
That's cool that they were happy drunks. Dana, were they happy drunks in your family when they came back?
No.
Because you're sober, so I picture, you know, that's like if your parents are talking too much to you about
I will have a beer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not sober, I just don't drink. I occasionally will have a beer and only a beer because that's like if I'm eating something that it goes well with, but I've only been drunk once. It's weird because my wife is a whiskey expert. She works for a distillery and can like literally go, oh, this is from Isla and it's got 75 tannins and I have no interest in it at all, which is actually good because there's a lot of it in the house. So if I had a problem, it would be.
We should do a wife swap.
Yeah, that might work out well.
But just no, like Courtney, you date Dana's wife. Like it's,
I understood it that way. Yeah.
Wait a minute. I know your husband. I don't. Yeah. I'm not for this swap. Happy to be. Let me repeat. Happy to be friends. Happy to be friends. I don't see it going anywhere other than that.
Is it the mustache? Because that could be temporary. That's just for his wife.
I love
members only jacket. I think it's the members only jacket.
It's the combination of the members only jacket and the mustache that lets you know my parents drank at home. Okay.
I would be frantically repainting my home in earth tones to limit the chances of any sexual activity. Which also, I must say, calls into question any procreation before the invention of wallpaper.
It was slow. It was slow. People really suffered through it.
People had to wait for a really cloudless day.
It was more function than form. Like, it was just like, okay, we're lonely. We got to do something about that. I'm not attracted to you. I've hit you with a club and dragged you to my apartment. So this isn't great foreplay. And it was just people needed babies when they needed babies.
That was Night Moves by Clark Jones.
Here on the Sex Hour Marathon, how to bag a chick in 2024.
Let me ask you this, Courtney, before we let you go. You've mentioned that you are a jealous woman in general. You know, you see, I mean, some people they get a little too close to your husband to say hello.
So I've heard.
Did you learn anything today from Clark about happiness and forgiveness and going with the situation? It is what it is.
I will say, fuck no. I think Clark's putting it on, and I like to say resentment is what has fueled me into the overnight success you see before you. Okay, I will never let that go. I'm Irish Catholic. I will always have a little hate in my heart. I need it to survive. Okay.
My Aquarius sister. I love you.
Baby, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
2 fingers. Happy birthday. We're doing it, baby.
We're doing it.
Like, we're Lil Baby or SNL. We're just 2 fingers. You do step up and you're sticking with this Clark. Are you pleased a little bit? Like, quite frankly, I can make almost any mistake I want in life now. No. I'm so much more devoted to not making mistakes. Like, it really does. Like, for like a year or two, it was like, fuck it. My mom did, my older brother did. It was like risky business, Tom Cruise time. You know what I mean? Like, who's gonna check me? Right? I have nobody to report to. Don't know, I give a fuck. I could say, do whatever I wanted to do. And then that was fun. I ain't gonna lie. That was fun. It was very Bushwick 2014. It was wild. No responsibility. And then but now I'm back to like, I have to consider 2 very important people with everything. And I'm cool with that.
What a man, what a mighty good man.
You'll find a lot of Clarks out there, I'll tell you that much.
You don't. Literally, I'm the only Black Clark I've ever known. So
Courtney, thank you so much for your time. Good seeing you again.
I love all of you guys. Thank you so much. This was the horniest hour I've had in a while. I appreciate it all.
Follow Courtney online, of course. What's the best way to reach you, Courtney?
Ooh, at Courtney McGinnis on all social media. Bitch, I'm on TikTok now. So I need you to follow me because it's really embarrassing right now. I'm very unsuccessful and I hate my life. So just follow me. Okay. Yeah. I need this.
Well, thank you.
Love you guys.
Thanks, Courtney.
Love you. Bye.
All right.
My daughter gave me a lecture last night on what I was doing wrong about my TikTok.
Oh yeah?
Please tell us.
Let's introduce a new guest and then you can give us pointers. Everybody get your pens ready.
Myka Fox.
Hey, how are you? Did I do it?
Myka fucking Fox.
Hey, Clark, how are you?
I'm good, baby. It's good to see you.
Is there like laughing gas up in your room? I walk in, he's
there's
already cackling.
There's something about you coming in the room. I just start laughing, and it's in a good way.
Hell
but
yeah, good to see you.
Yeah.
That would be weird if it was in a bad way. We'd have to talk.
It's the worst way possible.
My greatest nemesis.
Dana's going to teach us about TikTok. Are you guys ready?
Oh, please.
I'm not. My daughter was just like, Dad, when you post something, you have to tag me and Kat and my wife and her sisters. And she's like, we're not going to watch it, but then we'll like it. And then your likes will start to build. It was so subtly condescending.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch her clown act.
Wait,
but
can I tag your wife and daughter too?
Yeah, exactly. I think it might help.
I'll take all the likes I could get.
I am 4 likes away from having 5 likes on all my videos. Yes, please let me tag though.
Yeah.
Mike, I heard you were sick all of January.
Yeah, I did it, baby.
Did you get sober or something?
You want to know? I did do sober January,
and then you got sick. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was like out before New Year's, and like COVID tested, came up neg, whatever, and then just kind of kept like, oh, I'll be better tomorrow. You know that vibe where you're just like, I'll just, and then for like 3 weeks later, I'm like, I don't know. I'm bad. Turns out I had like a different COVID and some infection and like all kinds of shit. I was near death.
No,
but I'm here.
To your podcast, Great Hang.
Thank you. Everybody do the same. What?
Feels like you're always on a cocaine hangover. Now, what is, I'm Googling the word sobriety. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
No, so yeah, I'm a little confused.
Okay, so in fairness to the term sobriety, I did have to host a show. I still kept doing shows because I didn't think I was contagious. It turns out I was highly contagious with a lot of shit. Sorry, everyone in the New York City comedy scene.
I didn't think I was contagious.
Because like I'm testing negative for everything. And that's and like they say, like, you're only contagious for the first few days and then blah, blah, blah. And no. So I went and I did a show, and because I was still feeling so bad, I was like, well, tonight, like, I'm just going to drink through this. And sure enough, the alcohol made me feel incredible. I was like hosting the fuck out of the show, feeling great. Someone came by with a little beep, bop, boop, boop. I was like, let's fucking go. Turns out that is not a good cure.
No, cocaine, not the cure for the common cold. Let me ask you this.
It's a good temporary fix.
Have you ever said no to Coke?
You know, I can count the number of times. It's physically impossible for me to say no to it. You could offer it to me on a spinning bike tire. I'd be like, I got that. That's going to come back around.
And you never bought it, right?
I never buy it. I have bought it. There was a time in my 20s when we'd all go in, you know, but now at this point, I'm like, I'm not going to buy Coke. That's problematic.
You're not going to support the economy.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Can your next door neighbors help? You're convinced your neighbors are making meth?
Well, you tell me. Listen.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know much.
I do have another Coke question.
Oh.
Yeah.
People do it pretty regularly. But is it sexual to you? Are you
Coke
up all the time? Yeah, Coke. It's sexual to me.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that explains a lot. No. No, I think it really levels me out, you know, in the same way that like uppers level out people with ADD.
Do you think maybe you just need to be on Adderall? I've dabbled in all of the uppers that you can get legally and not, and Adderall just doesn't do it for me. Oh, okay.
That's crazy.
Like, I'll take it and I'm like, why am I annoyed and angry? Like, that's not a vibe for me. And I don't get anything extra done. So
just regular amount of shit done.
Yeah, it's not for me. You know. But nice try. No, it's blow or nothing.
Have you tried meth? Speaking of which,
I don't know, but I have been offered.
By the way, we should say that's the Nevada state motto.
What? Have you tried meth?
Blow or nothing.
Well, I'm from Arizona, so we do Coke with our dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Which you have, right?
Which I have. Yeah.
Yes.
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he supply it? Or was that when you were going in together?
Well, yeah, the first round was free.
He has to teach you how. You can't just tie your shoelaces.
No, I mean, you know, he's still a Jewish dentist. You know, he's a little tight with all the drugs. But
were your parents separated and he's trying to win you over and Coke will do it?
No, he was hiding it from us and we caught him and we're like, buy our silence, bitch.
How old were you again?
This was my freshman year of college, so 17.
Oh, perfect
18.
time.
Yeah, it's a good time. I wouldn't do it with him again.
Why?
You heard some people think it's sexual, right?
No, because it's just like the conversation gets too weird, you know? You're just like fucking blowing a line and you're like, oh, remember mom?
Who wants a dentist in a rush?
Let's take your teeth, open it up, and then put this mold in your mouth.
All right,
Good enough.
Spit.
One for you, two for me.
Yeah.
He did have those nitrous tanks in the garage, and he told us when we were kids that those were the empties. And I bought it until like a few years ago, and I was like, wait a second, those were not the empties.
You're just doing it for fun at home?
Those were the personal stash.
Wow.
It's so good though. I love
nitrous.
Oh yeah, at the dentist, I'm like, I'm on nitrous always because I can't with the dentist, and I'm like, oh my god, Hamda, don't laugh while they're doing the root canal because they will lower the shit, and it is so good. I'm like, I think I'm too high. Don't tell them. Don't show them in your face that you're too high. I'm like, this is too high. I don't know why they're letting me do this.
It's so you don't scream and scare the other patients. Trust me, they're thrilled that you're off your tits.
Did Dana? Did fellow comics turn you off to hard drugs? You never got into them?
No. I was growing up. Everybody I knew, my parents, my older siblings, and all of their friends, literally everyone I knew who was older than me was an aggressive alcoholic and or drug addict. And I just did everything the opposite to have some kind of identity and to put some sort of, which means, by the way, I have all of an addict's pathology. I just don't have the chemical dependence, but I absolutely think I am the piece of shit the sun revolves around, like every other addict on earth. I have all of the weird. I know you're all scheming against me. I know you're all just waiting to pee on me, or whatever it is that you do.
I know this is sexual.
Yeah, I know this is sexual. but I just don't have the chemical the chemical dependency. And then when I went into Boston, when I moved into Boston, started doing open mics, and this was in the year after Clark was born. It was all cocaine. It was a cash business, and the town was full of cocaine dealers. And as I like to say, like but the people that I was hanging out with at the time, like Bobcat Goldthwait, who was already sober, so like I just wasn't in that group. And I was like, my kind of social group was a lot of people that were already sober, and I had just never had to become sober, so I just kind of stayed with it. And by now, it's literally just like, well, how far can I take this, as sort of like a math problem? Like
now you're just stubbornly trying.
Yeah, no, really, I am. Yeah, it's just like,
yeah.
And my wife really wants me to take like ayahuasca, or I don't know.
What do you think of that? Because I
she
love
thinks I have a problem because I'm always screaming at light bulbs, but I don't think it's an issue.
Well, if they just shut the fuck up.
Thank you.
Are you considering something like mushrooms or ayahuasca, or something that, people are like,
I am terrified of not being in control. That's my pathology. It's all about control.
Yeah, somebody told me they're shitting their pants, they're vomiting all over, and I go, okay, but what'd you get out of it? And they're like, I learned to be kind. I'm like, okay, listen to that if I'm in the woods.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it took to find out, not to be an asshole.
What's making you think, Myka, that your neighbors are cooking up meth?
Yeah.
So they're running the dishwasher too much. It's too much. Like, how many times do you think you could run a dishwasher in the day on your busiest dish day?
Busiest dish day? Are people 3? That sounds like a lot.
It sounds like a fucking lot, doesn't it? Well, they're doing it 3-4 times a day, multiple days in a row. And I'm like, because we can hear everything. It sounds exactly like my dishwasher, and it takes 2 hours. So it's like literally nonstop all day. And also I hear like an alarm go off during the day, like constantly. And I'm like, what are you timing? The cook, and then you clean up the stuff, and then, or maybe they're cooking the meth. I don't know. I'm not a drug maker. I'm a drug taker. You know what I mean? This is not my side of the arrangement.
This is so funny that you think keeping a clean house means you're trying to cover meth.
Where does the dishwasher come in? That's just my question.
Could it be
what else
there's
are they...
a baby?
What else would you
have
clean, Dana?
Yeah, to clean.
To clean that stuff.
To either clean the stuff, or maybe it helps the process. I don't know how to make meth. Maybe there's like a process by which is done with dishwasher. I don't know.
Maybe they just killed a man.
Maybe.
So
maybe.
Are they? They're not caterers. You're sure they're not caterers?
I don't see any food coming in or out. I barely see any people coming in and out. There's no kids, so that's like, kids is like, yeah, okay, you guys are just like going through it, but there's not that many people even. It's not like they're like 7 into an apartment. I don't know.
What if one of them was the Calgon spot maker, and then you would know, like, oh, it's the spot maker.
I don't know what that is, but I'm sure you're right.
It was for Calgon, the dishwashing liquid. The spot maker was an evil animated character that would put spots on your glasses and dishes.
Is this
the
like
spot maker.
The avoid the Noid level?
Yeah, thank you very much. Perfect.
Yes,
yeah.
okay.
It's TJ Miller as Mucus. It's that guy. It's but for it's the same thing.
It is funny. So you hear a bunch of dishwashers, so it's meth.
Well, it's annoying as fuck. Let's just say like it's like vibrates the whole apartment. And so, I was sick all month, so I'm at home constantly like hearing it, and I'm like, what could they be washing?
Have you thought of like going to them and going, hey, can I borrow some meth, and just seeing where they are?
Oh, that's a good one. Can I?
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, we don't have any. Okay, probably sugar would work. Do you have sugar?
Yeah. My plan was to leave a Post-it on the door. I know what you're doing in there.
Oh shit!
Like, could you help me with a breaking? Could you help me with a Breaking Bad trivia question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has since stopped, but I'm like, well, because they have to sell the batch now.
Oh shit!
You don't want too much at one time.
The Arizona in you. Say you're from Arizona without saying you're from Arizona.
Everyone's selling meth.
My neighbors are selling meth because they clean. They set their alarm and like turn it off. Like they're
vacuuming. So that's got to be when the heroin spills on the carpet.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You can take the girl out of the stucco house, but you can't take the stucco house out of the girl, man.
Have you ever considered like a light, gentle swatting?
I did. I fully considered that. But I was like, I'm a gentrifier. Full stop. But I think the people upstairs are as well. But it's like on the off chance that they're not, I do not want to send the FBI or anyone to the house. But I'm like, that would solve the problem. Just anonymous tip it.
What problem? You are insane. Is that the problem?
City apartment, and she doesn't mind the meth. She just minds that it's a lot of dishwashing.
Hello, 911. You're not going to believe this, okay? First of all, here's my address. You might want to start heading over.
Are you in the city?
They're running the dishwasher again.
Yeah,
Myka?
I'm in Bushwick, Brooklyn. And,
okay, so let me just stop it. They're not going to show up. You're
right. They're too busy at the decal stop making sure people don't jump the turnstile.
Yeah, no, they're worried about trans kids who want to play sports. They're not going to move.
No, you're right. I mean, honestly, I'm annoyed about the dishwashing, but also I'm like, if they blow up the building and then I you know what I mean? I'm picturing this and it's winter and now I got to go outside while my house is on fire in the dead of the cold.
Oh, you're going to be the best old lady.
Well, no, if your house is on fire.
I knew it. They were running the dishwasher too many times. Who does that?
And the house exploded.
They're taking so much speed, they're getting younger. No, they have a child.
I mean, you're not wrong. I swear someone flipped a switch and I became like an old lady like 3 months ago. I'm just done. I'm toast.
Just calling New York police because it's too loud. That would be. I want to be there for that.
They're running the dishwasher. They must be making
really
meth.
Noisy.
And I just want to be like, there's so many industrial complexes in the neighborhood. Just use one of those. Use your brain, people. You know, there's a family in here, and that family is me and my cat.
Ironically, these are Myka's cocaine thoughts. Dana Gould, people want to say hi to you. What's the best way to reach you? What would you?
Dana Gould on all things, and
that's smart.
And hanging with Dr.
Writing this down. I'll make it on all the things. Okay.
And if anything, check out Hanging with Dr. Z on YouTube. That's the only thing I've ever done that's funny.
Dr. Z from Planet of the Apes has a talk show, and it's fantastic. Good for you.
So good.
Hey, can I just say, Dana, I've been a fan for a long time. It was nice to finally.
Oh yeah, nice to meet you too.
Thank you, thank you for all the advice. I will take it.
You can really DM me if you want the real advice.
It's Dana Gould on all. Okay, I got that.
Look, he picks up.
I have 3 adopted children. There they are. We're all in the car. We have 3 adopted children, and they're the greatest things in the world. And I can absolutely answer any question you have.
Also, I'll be DMing them as well to get their TikTok likes. So
Yeah. I'll make sure to not be running the dishwasher.
yeah. So if you're screening for weirdos,
The dishwasher.
So you see Myka's number, just turn the dishwasher on.
Every time I do a load, those helicopters come back.
I'm just saying I don't see Cascade going in.
Tiffany is saying maybe they're running a ghost kitchen. No, meth sounds more logical. Myka, you got it.
Yeah.
I'm detective. These are my dad's detective skills. Dana, I'll talk to you later. Thanks again.
Thank
Thank you, everybody. Bye.